Hey all, quick announcement before we get into the episode today. As you might know, Grant and I have a merch store that went live recently with merch for Grant's infamous quote, "Be gay, do crime, charge phone, eat hot chip, none of this is permanent." And if you're interested in supporting us, we would really appreciate it. Please head over to our podcast website, wellilaugh.com, and there is a link in the heading that will take you over to our merch store where you can get all the merch your heart desires. Grant and I are so incredibly grateful for all of the support from our listeners and friends. And with that in mind, let's get into it. You're listening to Well I Laughed, Part 3 of Falsely Imprisoned, Unhinged Experiences.
If you're wondering where my laugh gets its little it's him.
So you were also part of a weird theater cult?
No, I was just friends with him. Have I told you how I met him?
No.
I think I have.
I have no idea. Hold on. Before we say him, do we want to say his name?
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, hi. That's Maia Warner. I'm Grant Thomas.
I'm Lee Schmelzel.
Schmelzel? Is that really?
Schmelzel, yeah.
That's really your last name?
You want to? Yeah, it means. Well, guess what it is. What do you think it is?
Foreign? Kidding. German.
It is. Yes. Yeah. I get Jewish a lot too, so I was curious.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's German. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I don't think it can be one or the other anymore.
No, it sure can't.
I'm uncomfortable.
And that's how this is starting.
It's okay. My family is also German immigrants,
Yeah.
but at least my mom's side is. We lost complete track of my dad's side.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Anyways, so Lee Schmerson.
Oh, great. No, one more time.
Schmetzel's Pretzels.
That's
Every
Is that it?
freaking time I hear
I'm not
Schmetzel.
I'm not the first person to make that joke.
No, you're not as interesting as you think.
Lee Schnitzel is here to tell us a story. Who is he, Maia? Who did you bring into our room today?
So Lee is the guy that I found on the street today. He told me, I have a really great story. Do you want to hear it? And instead of walking past and ignoring him like I would any other strange homeless man that I encounter in Denver, I said, you know what? Come on into my home. Tell the story to my audience.
And you know it wasn't me who found him, because I'd be like, I don't know, I'm not really into septum piercings.
Okay.
Like, I think I'm gonna,
Okay.
You seem like you have a lot going on.
No, Lee and I have known each other since high school. We met because we were both in choir. He's a year younger, and we were in the dressing area, kind of, or prep area for the choir before a concert. And he walks up to me, not a single word said, by the way, and just goes, "Your weenus is dry."
Okay, before. Okay, hold up. Okay, every time.
That was a lot of defensive.
It's just every time she introduces me, this is the first story she says, and this is how
Really
people
funny.
get to know
Your
me.
name is Lee Schmelz, and you're just up here touching people's weenuses.
Well, here's the thing. I don't even remember this happening.
I
And
do.
so
It
I
was,
swear to God, she's just making this up. I swear to
it was
God.
such a strange experience for me. I don't think I could make it up.
I know the story doesn't look good on Lee, but you kept him around, so it looks even worse on you.
And I'm here
and
today.
then him and my other friend, Abby, took my phone and replaced my Facebook profile photo. And so if you really want the evidence, you can go to my Facebook
What
and
did they
scroll
replace it
through.
with?
What did I do? I don't even remember this.
Oh, you replaced it with a photo. You and let's take
Abby.
a gander.
I always
Abby
love
Riddle.
when we insist on visual references in this
Yeah.
and audio
Someone
format.
commented on the YouTube and was like, "It would be great if you could put those visual references in the YouTube." And I
Maya,
was
you
like,
have another
"That's fine."
45 minutes free every week, right? You can get that going, right?
I'm just listen. I have a full-time job.
Meanwhile, I'm on summer break, but don't know anything with computers, so I'm
But
just...
you're managing a lot of the social. I've really backed away from most of the social. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
December 11th, 2013.
Are you guys in elementary school at that time?
Oh, this was him as a freshman in high school.
It's so...
Dude, I look like a fetus. I have always looked young.
Well, how do you think I feel over here, the 30-year-old dinosaur on his way to the Natural History Museum, located in City Park, great for a date. When Maya was like, this person is a year younger than me, I was like, well, when's his mom picking him up? Does she know? Do we
Is
need to
Jerry
get
coming?
waivers?
I would love to
Is
see her.
Miss Schmelz coming?
Great, good.
Where does it end, your last name?
At the L.
It's Schmelzel?
Schmelzel, yeah.
Schmelzel, okay.
It means makers of fat in German.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what grant means? You're fucking dumb. It means to give freely.
I knew as soon as you said that
God
something was
damn
coming.
it.
And I'm so happy that I caught it before it happened to me.
It's It's so fun to be on this side of those jokes,
yeah, it's
isn't
great.
it, Maya?
That's usually me. So thank you for being here.
Can I leave yet?
No. You volunteered.
You are sitting between us.
I know.
And I've trapped you in strategically with these sound panels, so you can't leave.
Can't go anywhere.
Also, we know you're a former theater kid, and I'm built like a linebacker, so I don't think you're getting out anytime soon. Mainly because Maya and I have actually no content prepared for today. You are the podcast episode.
Unfortunately for
Which
you guys,
is-
I have full control today.
I think we've proven that you have very little control. But that is why Lee, Mr. Schmelzel, is joining. I had to have repetition.
Yeah.
It's why you are joining us today.
I am.
It's
Yes.
because you are our first podcast guest, and you are here to tell us a story to end our 3-episode arc on Falsely Imprisoned.
Yeah.
Falsely imprisoned.
Lee knows Britney Spears. I'm
Personally.
I know, it was so funny. Before we started recording, you were talking about the Britney Spears episode. That hasn't come out yet, so I haven't watched it.
Right.
Anyways, you said that it takes you back to 2007.
kidding. Correct.
Oh.
I was 8 years old.
You see what I mean, Maya?
I love
you
that.
see
joke.
what
I do
I
that all
mean?
the time. I do that like when I'm sitting at like a table with a bunch of like older engineers, and they're like, back in 2000 I was working at this plant. I was like, I'm 2. I was 2.
Okay, so that's so rude. First off, 2007,
an
I'm starting to
amazing
think
ego.
about my driver's test just for the record.
That must suck for you.
Well, you know what? Be young. The rest of us have work to do. Lee, what Wetzel pretzel did you get born into?
So we're starting off with fighting. I see how this is going
We
to
are in the middle of one. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, so anyway, we should get down to it now that we're 15 minutes in.
This
Okay,
is
I'm going to
great
talk now.
content.
This is my turn. I'm taking over.
Okay,
I've had to-
so anyway, Lee has a story.
And it's apparently that of Captain Phillips. You are not the captain now, Lee. I don't know what you think this
You
is.
really like tried to play dominatrix.
I'm trying so. Here's
And
the
it
issue.
didn't look good.
I'm such a passive person. I'm like, all right, this is my time to shine. I'm gonna say something. It's gonna be big, and I'm gonna blow up. And then you guys just like fully take over, and I just sizzle back down.
Good. Stay down.
That's all. You had your one chance, and that's what you decided to talk about?
So anyway,
I'm just gonna get bullied for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can
Yes.
tell.
Lee
these
told me
episodes
he has a
don't go.
funny story of dating in Hawaii, and
Yeah.
it somehow relates to being falsely imprisoned. So
Oh, we'll get into that.
okay,
Yeah.
cut to our intro. Da-da-da. Anyway,
Falsely Imprisoned, Part 3. The
Lee.
Talking Pretzel.
that's the name. Canon. It's canon. It's happening. Talking pretzel. All right, Lee. Set the scene for us. What happened?
With where I am?
And when.
Okay, and when, yeah, just
okay.
get through the whole thing. Okay, so the first thing to start off with is, so the job I have, I get like pretty decent PTO, so I'm able to take off like a duration of time at any given time. Okay,
Tell Grant how much PTO you get. I want to see him get a little mad.
I get 12 weeks off a year.
I mean, same. That's not that hard
And
to get.
he makes a lot more
now,
than you.
well, I make
And
a
I
difference.
have a 401k and dental insurance.
Okay, well, I have a pension that is legally guaranteed. So when I'm 58, watch out. I'll be really active civically.
No, but yeah, so I get 12 weeks off a year, a bunch.
How long ago was this story? Like, when did it happen?
It was last summer.
Oh, this is like recent.
Yeah, this was recent.
We
yeah.
come with a lot of
So-
childhood trauma here, but this is like adult
No,
Lee
adult.
experience.
It gets
Tell
weirder.
us
Yeah.
what you do on your when you have these when you take these long vacations.
Oh, so for this one specifically, I mean, okay, here's like the dual-edged sword. This is gonna sound stupid, but like
Right.
you think having 12 weeks off is like nice, because it is. It's like you get
Certainly
It's
don't,
nice.
it is.
certainly don't think it's bad. Did get us there, Lee.
But you're just alone with your thoughts so much more.
See,
you're
not
just-
everyone can handle the teacher summer. It takes a specific breed to be able to handle it.
No, it's like you have so much free time that you're like, what am I
Correct.
even doing with myself?
Okay.
So to fill that void that is me, I decided to go to Hawaii with my friend for 5 weeks. She's been going around,
Just wait.
5 weeks. It was great. But she's been traveling around the world for like a few years. She just got back from Antarctica on like a 6-month expedition
Does
out
she
there.
work at the same company
I?
you do?
No, she's just like a friend that I met like back a few years ago, but like she just, her name's Sydney. I don't think you know Sydney. Yeah,
that's what I was
we
gonna
worked at a
ask.
summer camp together. A Jesus summer camp. Yeah.
Have we talked? We've talked about that before.
That we were both religious. I have
all
a great
three of us were religious.
We used to go to church together.
There's some really bad pictures.
Really?
There's some really one popped up on my phone today.
There was
Another
really
visual
funny.
cue in this audio format. It's gonna be like right here on the YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Maya, go ahead and just put it right up there.
Well, I'm gonna.
You know, you get your For You photos each day, like brings back.
Sometimes he just sends them to me, no
Are
context.
you still on Facebook?
No, this is like on your phone. Like,
Your phone does it.
gallery.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't have any social media.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so your phone was like, "Hey, remember?"
Yeah,
Oh,
remember
God, that
this.
one's bad.
So this was us. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah.
He shaved his head for what the Saint.
St. Baldrick's.
Yeah, St. Baldrick's.
Yeah.
And also had a hat on.
It was a nice hat.
So-
I got it from a nice hat store in Boulder, and I wanted to look cool.
Maya hasn't aged one bit.
No, I look the same.
And that hat says, "Hey, y'all, you know who else struggled with peer pressure? Jesus." Like, I can already tell that hat isn't mad at me. It just wished I was serving the Lord better.
Well, I no longer follow God, and I no longer wear the hat.
Listen,
so this is
I'm
where we're
really
at.
relieved to hear both of those things, but mainly the hat bit. What is
were
the
we
story?
talking about?
Okay, so drop everyone back in. Lee and his friend Sydney are in Hawaii for 5 weeks.
5 weeks, yes.
This is a year ago, which is
a
also
year
an
ago.
insane amount of time to have off.
Yeah.
Take us from there.
Yeah, so we go to the Big Island first. We're going to go to two separate places. She had just spent 5 months on Maui at a dragon fruit farm.
Okay.
And so, yeah, great, right? And then we go to the Big Island together. She's like, let's hang out here for a few weeks, and then if like the first farm we don't like isn't if it's not good,
They're
then
gonna
we'll
work
just-
on a farm.
Yeah, we're working on a
You
farm.
took PTO to go get a second job?
Again, I can't be alone with my thoughts. I have to be doing something, Grant. I can only be sitting still for like 30 minutes
Can I
before.
suggest you start a podcast?
It'll take all your free time away, I promise.
Really will. It's a labor of love. So you are shopping around for which fruit plantation you want to work on for your 5 weeks off.
For my 5 weeks off, yes.
Okay.
And so I'm not doing anything. Sydney says I'll find the place. Like I've been going around. We use this organization. It's called WOOF. So it's like Worldwide Organic Organization for Foods or something like that.
So
WOOF.
there's like 3 O's in the middle of it.
There's so much going on. Yeah.
Comes with an honorary membership to Whole Foods.
Listen, I do it just for that.
Yeah. So it's we just go. And I'm like, okay, where are we going? She says, we're going to go to the Big Island, and we're going to be working on this farm out there. And when she said that she went to Maui, she was on a farm with like 24 like college students, like everyone hanging out just over the summer, just like having a good time. It was like a party. Super fun.
It's fun to be in a place where it's like very natural for you to be there and everyone's just kind of doing the same thing. It's a lot like going to a concert at Red Rocks. We're all like, what a silly little thing that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
But like, it's just kind of fun that we're all just doing this right now.
Yeah.
That was probably dumb for me to say, but granted.
Listen, you said it. We're all here now.
Okay, so you're doing hard physical labor in a tropical island.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So we get there and we're at the Big Island and we get picked up. And we get to the farm, and it turns out that instead of there being like any other farm hands, it's just Sydney and I working on a 3-acre farm with this sweet like 70-year-old woman that just owns the estate. She's like done everything. She's on her side quest now. She just bought a property out in Hawaii and is just like living there, and she needs
just
someone to
owns
tend
a
her farm.
farm.
Yeah, she just needs someone to tend her farm for her.
Okay.
So it's just us two.
What the fuck?
It is already an insane situation to find yourself in.
Yeah.
And I've had to swim across the U.S. border before. But continue.
Excuse me.
That's a Patreon story. We don't just like give that out for free. So you and Sydney and this old woman are starring in what sounds like a Wes Anderson film.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens?
So we're on the farm. She's got 2 little dogs too. One is this sweet Australian Shepherd named Ginger, so cute. And then this other one is this 13-year-old Chihuahua with a singular eye named Dwayne. And again, a picture that no one else will be able to see.
Correct.
But if you want to see what he's also missing all of his teeth, so his tongue just like flops out. It's just limping around.
He looks like a pirate.
He does!
And it's not the eye, it's the entire face and then like the tongue.
Yeah.
If you put a little parrot on Dwayne the Chihuahua's shoulder, I'd believe it.
The sad thing about Dwayne too is literally 2 days after we finished our 5-week adventure, he passed away.
No.
Yeah.
Wow, we usually kind of save that stuff for the end.
Oh no, there's so much worse stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, R.I.P. Dwayne.
Yeah, we miss Dwayne. He was a
Dwayne-
sweetheart. I love Dwayne. I would die for Dwayne, but
Did
Dwayne
you
died for
carry
me.
him out on the edge of the property?
No, we were gone by that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she had to bury him by herself.
Yeah, no, it was really sad.
Or that, or she got the next grouping of young workers to do it
fair.
for her.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, when we were
somehow
leaving,
darker.
this Polish
Yeah.
man was coming in. Oh. Yeah, he was an Olympic Polish man. He did the gymnastics.
I guess like not well then, huh?
I don't like the way that you said Olympic Polish man. As if he was like in the Olympics for being Polish.
One of the best Polish people that the Poles could produce.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
The bar is so much lower in Poland. They're just looking for anyone. They're like, you can stand up, your back doesn't hurt from pulling potatoes out of the ground all day. You're doing gymnastics.
Is it okay
Poland.
for a German immigrant to be making these kind of Polish jokes?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
Schnitzel.
good.
I have a degree in history education.
I know, and it really puts me to shame every single time we record. I think I'm gonna get you, and you're like,
We
it's the
started
Unabomber.
an educational podcast, and I have a degree in education.
I had to take education out of every single one of our bios so that
Oh,
people won't
fair.
click on our bio and be like, I should take what they say seriously. Because I was like, ugh,
We don't take what we say
we're
seriously.
gonna get sued.
We don't even listen to ourselves. Okay, so your best friend, an old woman, and 2 dogs. The start of like a Greek mythology tale.
Yeah.
Are working this 3-acre farm in the Big Island of Hawaii.
Exactly. Yeah. And so we're there and we're like, okay, we didn't have a way to get off the property at all. Because it's like up in the mountains, so we don't have a car.
How was this better than being left alone with your thoughts?
Such a good question.
Because this feels like a horror movie.
Every single person is asking.
And here's the issue. It wasn't. So I needed to find a way to get off this property and be able to go see a little bit of the world and like go like have some fun off.
How many days did you realize how many days was it until you realized you were trapped?
It was day 4 is when it really, like, cabin fever really
So
got
day
me.
1, 2, 3, you were like just out here working in the sun.
It was relaxing. You know, you work 4 hours a day, and then they
Oh.
feed you. You get fully fed. You work 4 hours a day, and they let you like sleep on the property.
I know the story's supposed to be crazy, but every detail of this program sounds even crazier.
No, it is. So, if you need, here's another plug for Wolf. I'm not sponsored, but if you want to see the world, contact us if you want to get sponsored. I'm doing marketing now.
Good. He's really trying to become a regular.
But yeah, wolfing, it's a great way to get out and see the world. You work for like 20 hours a week, for like four hours a day, and they feed you and they house you, and then you can like have the weekends off and you can go see the area that you're staying in. It's really great. It's a good way to like meet people and stuff. Unless you're just stuck on a farm with an old lady.
And Dwayne.
And Dwayne.
The Chihuahua.
Johnson. Okay. Anyway, maybe you should get into the meat of your story because I don't think Grant and I are gonna process.
No.
No, so we're just hanging out and stuff, and we're like,
This is on day 4.
This is on day 4, and so the way we're structured is we decided to work 10 days in a row to have 4 days off, so that we
This
can
is
like.
on your 5-week PTO.
Yeah,
is
this
that
is
what
on
you're
our-
talking
yeah,
about?
this is- yeah.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure we were all up to date,
Okay.
all tight on the hours and details.
Yeah, so we're working
Okay.
10 days straight for 4 days off, and like we're gonna like try to find like a car, like rent a car or something, so we have
Sure.
those 4 days off in a row. So we're like, okay, but I'm like, I need to go like get off the property to go do something else, and Sydney is like, you should like download Hinge and like just like find someone to come pick you up, and then
Oh no.
go.
Find someone to
You
come
should-
pick you
Do you know
up.
what you should do? You should, on this work vacation, not the way you think, on this work vacation, you should download a dating app, romance some locals, ask them to drive into the mountains, and then rescue you from this.
If I matched with anyone on Hinge that was like, will you come pick me up from this farm? Immediately no.
I can already tell the title of this podcast is Falsely Imprisoned Unhinged. Because every single decision you have made so far in this story is the exact opposite everyone else would make. But tell us who you ended up matching with on Hinge. Well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I just don't have a good expectation.
And here's the issue. As Maya knows, and as you'll see if you like look at my face, I'm not someone that gets around a lot. You look at me, you're like, this is a guy that like gives a purity ring in high school and never touches another person again. This is not my situation that I'm really in too much.
If you had seen the picture of the hat, you would have already understood.
They're gonna see the picture of the hat.
You know a guy who also didn't get around a lot? Jesus. Anyways, here's Wonderwall. Okay.
So I'm just like,
is this your first dating app experience?
I downloaded it a little bit like earlier in the year, but then like deleted it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I don't want to like be on this again. It makes
and
me
you would
feel
nejust
gross.
do anything ridiculous.
No,
so
that sounds so. Yeah, no,
not you.
No, I'm a good little Christian boy. I'm not gonna do anything. Look at me. Just trying to live on a farm, making honest day's work.
I just wanted to take a 5-week break from my job to go work a second job that I then also wanted to escape from. Like, that's the thing that I'm so caught up on. You were like, man, isn't it tough out here for us working men? And it's like, yeah, but I don't think you're the one making that argument.
I'm here for all the blue collar workers.
Okay, talk to us about Hinge.
So yeah, well, I get on Hinge, and like at first, what she wanted to do is like strategize, be like, okay, let's like make your profile so like we can both get out of here. Like,
Okay.
let's make it like look for friends, like BFF Bumble type thing. but
Hinge
on
is not the app you want to be if you're looking for people open to a third.
It sure isn't.
Honestly, Woof sounds like the app you should be on if you're looking for a third. As you know, no.
TM.
So we're scrolling through. We're trying I'm trying to match with people. It's like, hey, me and my friend are on this farm. Please save us. Like, we want to come see the world.
Oh my god.
And like a few people are like, you know, that like we're like, yeah, that actually sounds great. We'd like love to hang out, but like they live like 2 hours away, and it's like, okay, this isn't going to work.
Sure.
But eventually I just end up like matching with this one person, and we're like chit chatting and stuff. And then she's like, oh, do you want to go on a date? I'm like, I go to Sydney. I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't.
You're trapped on a farm in the mountains, and you're like, but like, what's her vibe? She like works for a hotel. I'm like, I get it, like that's the industry out here, but I'm like,
She did work for
I'm
a
attracted
hotel.
to the creatives.
you serious?
I figured. I was like, there's an profession that would be interested in talking to Lee that is working out there.
He picked it so fast.
Only people in hospitality could deal with
That is my degree in education. You
That's
get
good.
taught
That's
on how
good.
to read people. Okay, so you're like, listen, Sydney, I know we're on the Titanic,
Yeah.
but is this the lifeboat we want?
But and Sydney's like, and here's the thing, truly, like she's like sacrificing herself. It's like a Jack moment. She's like, go away, Rose. Like you can be free. Get on this date. See the world for both of us.
I'll distract her just long enough for you to get away from Dwayne. But then you can't turn back, okay? What is this, like Sodom and Gomorrah? That's not the right reference, but...
I don't know what it is, but I don't think it was right either.
But so yeah, we end up setting up a date, and so this
So
is
you
like
end up saying yes to your only option.
Yeah, it's
cool.
it's
Cool,
crazy.
cool.
yeah.
Crazy how that works.
I'm like, yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay.
And so she comes and picks me up, and we go drive. The first date was really chill, and we just
How
went.
long is the drive from the farm to the first major road?
It's like 25 minutes.
Of driving?
Driving. We're pretty high up in the mountains. So like we're in this area called Kona on the Big Island, but we're
Okay.
like up in the mountains, and you got to drive around. There's not many highways on the Big Island. It's not like
You are
Honolulu or
truly
anything.
like trapped on this
Yeah.
farm.
And okay, let me iterate again. Like this was a really cool place to farm and stuff. Beautiful views, but like yeah, you start going stir crazy after a few
Yeah.
days. You're like, I want to go see anything besides banana trees.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, you were on a date with a woman who's willing to drive 25 miles into the mountains to go get shit.
Yeah, so
Minutes.
as you can see, it's
Minutes.
Yeah.
she also has horrible taste. So it's like
She has no sense of self-preservation.
This is what I find out on the day too. Is like the pickings on the Big Island are slim. Like everyone knows everyone. So it's like when you find that tourist or whatever, you're like, great. Let's do this one and see what happens. Yeah, see how they're trying to appropriate my state. And,
sure, 100%.
Yeah. So she comes and picks me up. We go and get poke, and we just go to the beach.
Very Hawaiian.
Yeah, very Hawaiian. She was born and raised Honolulu, and but like moved to the Big Island. We're chatting. First day's going really well. Like it's really like happy hunky dory. We watch the sunset. It's still going great. We go and get some ice cream. And it's like this was like really wholesome, like pure awesome day. I go home and Sydney's like, "How was it? Tell me, are there people still out there?" Did anyone survive?
Tell me, Papa. Tell me.
What's it like in the big world? What is poke?
You see one of them big flying machines we see from the fields every day? I don't know why they're Midwestern, Southern. My relatives work in the fields and do not sound that way. It's like when the postman arrives and you finally have like a letter and you're like, news from the outside world.
I'm so confused.
Okay, so you had poke ice cream and watched the sunset in Hawaii, and this woman who rescued you, and the date was
good.
Okay.
Yeah. We kissed. It was great. It was it was a great first date. Yeah.
A little graphic for this podcast, but that's kidding.
She's doing it again.
For getting nothing.
Okay, so she drops you off, and then...
And so, I tell Sarah, like, it went really well, and like we set up a second date, so we end up like 2 days later, we're gonna go on a second date. And so Sydney wears me off again on my boat thing.
Poor Sydney!
Has Sydney not left this farm
No,
yet?
she hasn't. She will not leave until we are 10 days in, until we can like go and do our own stuff for 4 days
Is Sydney a character in Animal Crossing? It's kind of always where you
She's
left
just my
her.
NPC hanging out.
Exactly.
She's like, have fun!
You come back, she goes, I picked some turnips. It's actually incredible. You spent 5 weeks on the set of Animal Farm.
Yeah.
Not Animal Crossing. Animal Farm's about communism.
Wow, that's hilarious.
I think it's so funny that she was like, yeah, we can like have a date 2 days later, and you're like, cool, I'll be here.
Yeah. You know where to find me. Not going anywhere.
I literally can't leave. So Dwayne the Chihuahua Johnson is a vigilant guard.
Also, there's a second dog that we've just fully cast aside at this point.
Ginger was such a sweetheart, so cute. But Dwayne, I love Dwayne. Every day he woke up, he would like come out, like you would hear him first. Like so, we had like an outdoor kitchen that we would like make our food at, and.
Sorry, did the owner of the farm not want you guys using her kitchen?
No, she had a separate house, and so she had like an outdoor kitchen connected to her house where the help worked.
I mean, a little bit. I'm like, the situation continues to get, because you're like, no. It was like an incredible situation. At no point was I ever inside. I couldn't escape.
Our shower was outside.
Which, like, I guess you can kind of get away with in Hawaii a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's like 70 degrees every day.
It is it is an insanely odd thing that you did.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It's very strange.
Okay.
We did have shelter though. Like we had a place to sleep. Sydney and I shared a
on
bed.
your 5-week vacation.
Crazy. You had like a big leaf covering your cot.
Wolf, please sponsor us still. Please, it's really fun.
The thing is, like, if I was a student who wanted to take a gap year before college, this sounds literally perfect.
Yeah.
But you have a degree from one of the top engineering schools in the country at this point.
But remember too, like you can save so much money if you're doing these. You don't have to spend a dime other than a plane ticket to get out there.
Right, because you literally can't spend money because you are trapped on the hillside for a woman who won't let you inside her house. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ruin it. I really am just trying to kind of come to terms with it. I'm like trying to sit with it for a second.
Grant, I've been taking the last year to come to terms with this. This is a therapy moment.
Is it because your contract's up and you got to go back again soon? Is that it? The Big Island in July does not sound nice, but I don't know.
That's when I went. I went in July.
Okay.
It's very temperate. It's really chill. Like, and we're on the mountainside, so yeah, it's really nice. Okay. You should go.
Certainly, many ways to get to Hawaii. It sounds like.
Sounds really convincing. More and more convincing by the minute.
We haven't even gotten to anything in this story.
Okay, really?
No.
I thought this was the story.
Oh my god.
Because he was falsely imprisoned in the car.
I was like, well, that's it right there. That's the whole thing.
That's
falsely
so funny,
imprisoned
'cause, like,
on a farm.
It's funny talking this through with you guys because I didn't even like bat an eye at the fact that I didn't really leave this farm much. Like that was just whatever.
You didn't leave the farm or go into her house.
No, I went into her house once to do laundry
Listen, this is not me using it as a catchphrase.
Where
This
else
is,
did you do laundry?
in her house. I did it in her house
Once?
one time. Yeah.
In 5 weeks.
No, 2 weeks. Okay, so so after 2 weeks we realized this ain't for us.
Okay.
And so we flew to Maui.
Kind of jumped ahead.
okay.
We were on
Right,
date
right.
number 2.
We're on date number 2.
Sydney
sorry.
finds you, the rest of this insane cast, back at the farm where she left you.
Yeah.
And how does date 2 go?
Day 2 goes great. She comes and picks me up. Again, can't leave.
Right.
And then she takes me to this like shoreside restaurant for lunch, and we get like
Beautiful.
coconut shrimp. We get like drinks and stuff. We're just chatting it up. It's like a really good time.
I love that this is the most boring part of all of the story so
This
far.
is crazy.
It's like, oh, they went to Hawaii and
Yeah.
like, had fish by the ocean.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was so lovely, and she was really easy to talk to. I was like, yeah, and so it's going really well. She pays for lunch too. I was like, okay.
And she assumed that you literally couldn't afford it.
You were an indentured servant.
Yes.
And then she asked, she's like, do you want to come back to my place? I'm like, yeah, sure. This sounds great.
I would love to see another room in Hawaii.
I'd love to see a house with a bed and running water.
Yeah, and I can come inside too. It's like you will let me be in.
And I don't have to tend to your garden anymore.
How many turnips for entry?
Before we get too far away from the farm, because I feel like we're about to leave it for a second.
Yeah.
I'm a ravenous gardener. I get how like good it can be for the soul to like work the dirt a little bit and to like see the fruits literally of your labor. But then
Those vegetables, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, most things are fruits, but it's fine. But then I like dust my hands off and go inside the house I own and take a shower because I'm allowed to do that. And then I eat the fruit later. But you are at a second person's house.
Yes.
Continue.
Yeah. So, and she warns me too. Is like, by the way, like I'm living with my parents, but they live on the other wing of the house. Cool, right? Other wing. So it's gonna get cool.
I don't like it.
Your ability to just be completely separated from anyone that could help you in every situation you find yourself in. She's like, but don't worry, no one will be able to hear us. We'll be in the quiet part of the house, which is fine for you because you've just been rescued from a mountain prison where you left 2 dogs full of personalities and your best friend Sydney.
Listen,
So you're at the house where no one can hear you scream. What happens?
Jesus Christ.
Have I missed a detail? Or am I just connecting it together?
No, it's
the funniest part about this, Grant, is like this isn't even the interesting part of the story. We are like what I had prepped was like, oh, this will be the first 5 minutes.
Oh,
Like,
no, we're at 40 minutes in now.
got
Are we actually 40 minutes?
It's going to be our
Oh, this
first
is a heat dream.
4 episode arc. We're going to find some cliffhanger and be like, and tune in next week to
Will
find
Sydney
out.
ever escape? Does Dwayne get his eye back?
Before his death, you sold that one too soon. You can edit it out.
Okay, so you're in the wing of the house where no one can hear you scream.
Right, with a woman you've known once.
For like
Twice. Grant.
total of 4 hours.
Right, exactly.
Which is, ironically, a shift at the farm. You're trapped at.
But he can't spend the night. He has a lot of farming to do tomorrow.
He's not on his break yet.
Although I guess it's really not his call when he goes back. You know?
My hands look like this so she can buy me shrimp.
My hands look like this so she can pick me up and then drive another 30 minutes so she can buy me shrimp. Although eventually at one point I do have to get back to a high-stakes engineering job. It's like the background to all of this.
No, it was funny too because after she bought me lunch, which was incredibly nice. We're chatting. She's like, "So what do you do when you're not trapped?" And I was like, "Oh, I do patent work. Like I work at a law firm and I write patents." And she was like, "Oh, so like why did I buy you?"
I really was hoping you just never told her what you did because I knew that's what was coming.
Wait, What?
You tell me you don't work on a farm? This is just a side
I thought that was your mom and your sister.
And your pirate friend.
Okay, so I actually do trust her now a lot. I trust her implicitly now.
Yes. Yeah.
Me and her having the exact same thought
It's like,
process.
wait, why did I spend money on you? You're basically a lawyer.
Also, for the first nice thing that I've said to you, and we're 50 minutes into this episode, really impressed that you went on an entire first date and didn't talk about your job. That's actually really hard to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty awesome.
If you go to mines for long enough, you try and avoid it.
It's so boring, and all of our friends are all engineers.
It's
It's
so
all we
boring.
talk about. And it's like
Us teachers certainly would have no idea what that's like, to only talk about work when you all get together. All right.
okay, so we're at her house on the west wing of the house.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And
And we're walking in and we're just chit chatting and stuff. And then she like takes me to this first room. Relax, it's fine.
First room?
Yeah, it's a big house. First off, really nice, cool house. And we get in there, and she has a full Lego room.
how are we supposed to relax and then you tell us that? So you walk in, relax, it's not weird. All Legos.
It sounds like a torture chamber, like some weird psychological trial.
There's just loose Legos on the ground. She's like, step on them.
What was that? Squid Games. It
Yes,
sounds like a
sounds like
Squid
Squid
Game.
Games. Build an exact replica of the house that you just walked into.
Listen, this has been sitting kind of on my heart for like the last 30 minutes now. I, at times, will like kind of fully descend into the wilderness. Like, don't contact me because you can't kind of
It's
stuff.
really fun when I need answers from him for the podcast.
And then I'm like, hey, sorry, just got service. Heading to a mountain soon. Should be able to text there. But I trust you, so.
Have fun.
But even when I do that,
Yeah.
I text my brother and I'm like, hey, this is where I'm going, and you should hear back from me in
Around
this
this
amount of time.
Yeah.
And then if you don't hear back from me, like, then much longer after that, then you can worry, like, just a little bit.
Yeah.
It also gives me an excuse to send him pictures from the hike when I return. I'm like, look what I saw today.
Of course.
And then he's like, just got out of a meeting, cool. And I was like, it was a big thing for me. But yeah, so like even I will be like, hey, here's where I am. Lee, who knows where you are when you walk into the Lego room?
Not a damn person. Not a soul. Here's the thing. You guys are amping up the Lego
Oh my
room.
God.
I was so into the Lego room.
Yeah,
dude.
you went to mines.
I love Legos.
Everyone does, but the fact that you walk into a Lego room
This
is
is actually
weird.
so empowering, really, for our listeners out there. I'm older. I have a college degree, but not as much college as them. There's such a difference between smart and being intelligent. And for those of you out there who got their undergraduate at a state school like me, or even less, we're the real smart ones. Because never would I be in a room made out of Legos.
It's not made out of Legos. There's Legos inside of them.
I was
in it.
imagining
No.
it all Lego.
No, and there was cool Legos, like the Millennium Falcon, like Harry Potter Legos. I see why this sounds weird now, but let me have this, Grant.
Okay, so there's like a showcase of
Yes,
cool
there's some
collectible Legos.
Some of them are in glass. Do you understand how much Legos cost? The Millennium
we
Falcon
really did
cost
hit a Lego
$500.
I didn't
Grant.
know that. What is that, a full month's wage on the farm? No, I'm sorry, they weren't paying you. They were just trapping you in the mountains.
They fed me, Grant. Dwayne was a great listener.
Okay, so after
Okay.
you,
God, this
after
is so
you
funny
solve
because
the Rubik's
I
Cube-
see the Legos and I'm like, this girl's hot.
And we hear about the Legos and we're like, get out.
I'm like, take me wherever, dude.
Wait,
like,
does she get me?
yeah,
She
she
gonna get me.
understands.
She's gonna.
She understands me.
What's the next room that you walk into?
Her bedroom.
Oh, okay.
And we go into the bedroom, and immediately the first thing I see in her bedroom is one of those Survivor buffs. Do you guys watch Survivor?
Well, do you know what a buff is?
Like a buffalo?
No, like the things that
No.
you wear around your neck that are like a scarf kind of, but you can put them up on your head.
Oh, yeah, a
Yeah.
bandana as the rest of the world, I think.
No,
They're
it's
not
different.
a bandana.
No.
They're like stretchy.
It's stretchy, and it's a full like cylinder, and you shove your head through it like it's a turtleneck.
Oh, like
but
a
just
gator?
turtleneck.
And you
Yes,
kind of
Yes, a
Yes,
gator's
it's a
another word for it.
gator.
Oh, okay.
Buff is a gator. Great.
So she has one like just displayed in her room?
Yeah, but it's a Survivor themed one because they always wear buffs each season.
Oh,
and
okay.
I fucking love Survivor, dude. It is one of my favorite shows of all time. So it's like, this girl likes Legos. This girl watches Survivor.
Okay,
She
this
bought
girl
you
has
shrimp?
yeah,
She
this
bought me
girl
shrimp.
has a weird psychological torture room, immediately followed by a room themed around surviving in the wilderness with nothing but a flint. And
So true, Maya. So true.
Yeah, and I'm like, take me.
At what point does she let you know you have a 15-minute head start? At what point do the floodlights come on and you gotta kind of like scamper your way out of there?
at what point does she open the back door and show that she has a farm that needs tending?
Wolf
It's like, all right,
premium.
survivors, your challenge for today. It's like, I never escaped the farm in the first place. Dwayne's over there's like, gotcha.
Is this a, what is it? What's the Keegan Peele? Jordan Peele. Is this a Jordan Peele movie?
Key and Peel.
No,
Right,
Jordan.
but
Oh, Jordan.
Peele.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I love how confident you were.
Oh, no.
You're right.
I can let you know what you were trying to say.
Okay, so I guess like, do you seal the envelope?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. Anyway.
And that's not weird. Like,
No.
everything goes well.
Yeah.
We've gone through all the weird stuff that evening.
The thing is, it's not even weird yet, Grant, and you're making me feel weird. Saying it's weird.
Listen, you came onto this and were like, this story fits with falsely imprisoned, and you expected us not to question every decision
Also,
that you made.
Sweetie,
Yeah.
the story has been very weird so far. The story has at no point been normal.
Oh, Grant, you are in for a treat.
Okay, well, before we do that, Grant and I need a new drink. It's already weird. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Okay, so night goes well, and
Night-
she brings you back to the farm the
Yeah.
next day.
No, I didn't spend the night. This was like during
'Cause
the
you're a
day.
gentleman,
I'm
right.
a gentleman, yeah. And I've got farms to till.
It is his last day off of his vacation job,
Yeah.
so he has to get back to it. Yeah,
I have to get back. So,
a 4-hour shift, you said?
Per
You
day.
can't miss that. Okay.
no, funny enough, I went. That whole day was after our shift. So like the whole thing, but I just wanted to go home, man.
Okay.
I just need some me time.
Had a
Yeah,
big
that's
day.
fair.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, so
Same.
we go back and like really great and like saw Sydney. I was like, good to see you again, man.
She was like,
How's the
how's it out there?
I'm sure you came back and you were like, oh, listen, Sydney, I will tell you all about it tomorrow. But I've talked to so much today. I think I just kind of need some me time. And here on the side of this mountain, we can't escape. That's what I'm looking for right now.
I spent a lot of time in the West Wing today.
Meanwhile, there's like Sydney, Dwayne, and the third dog
Ginger.
or second Ginger. Like, yeah, no, that's fine.
We've been waiting for your story all day, but that's okay.
Sydney's eyes twitching a little bit. It's like,
Yeah, sure, for a second.
oh, okay, that's
You can-
great.
You can hear Dwayne mumble, told you. Like,
Okay.
All right, so yeah, obviously these first 2 dates really chill. Like
Nice.
nothing. Like she's
Okay.
been like a nice person and whatever. Minus apparently the Legos, which you guys got so hung up on.
It's very
I think
strange.
it's a lot less weird if you have any agency yourself in that situation. I don't know about. I mean, Maya probably did just because of the school you went to. I've certainly dated people who loved Legos, and it's nice to date people who have hobbies. It's concerning when you can't escape.
It's concerning when that's your only option.
Right.
Okay.
Speaking of not being able to escape,
Oh
Right,
God. Oh
okay.
date
God.
number 3.
I'm kind of a little nervous.
If you thought other things were weird, this is.
I'm scared for you.
Or you're gonna listen to this and be like, oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's really not gonna go the way you think it is.
So
Okay.
what
Yeah, what could-
situation did you get yourself into next?
At the end of the second date, we're talking. We're like, okay, let's figure out like a third date. Like this has been going really fun. I'm on the island for like another few days, so we can at least see each other like two-ish more times. And so we're planning to say, okay, like in 2 days, let's go and go to the beach. She had this like really nice spot that she wanted to show me, and we'll take some portobello mushrooms. you can get
Yep.
inventive with
I got that.
We'll just like relax. We'll like bring a bunch of food to picnic, and we'll just chill out all day. We'll go back to the house. We'll watch Survivor. We'll build Legos. I'm like, this sounds like the best date of my life.
It sounds almost like vacation.
It sounds maybe like she's baiting you.
It sounds like you could have had this exact experience in Hawaii. Sans everything else. But I'm not here to tell you how to use your PTO.
It's hard when you're on a farm.
Exactly. Some people think I'm a career coach, so I gotta be careful what I say now.
Don't talk to a working man like that. You don't know what I've been through.
One of us has a pension. I think we need to lower our voice a little bit.
Anyway, so yeah, we have this whole date set up,
Okay.
and once again, she's obviously gonna come pick me up.
Right.
So, where are we going? The ocean, the beach we're going to go to. It's surrounded by an ocean. It's Hawaii.
Right.
Yeah, but the beach we're gonna go to, this shandy's hitting harder than I anticipated.
The second half of these, you got like, oh wait, hold on, what is the thread that I was on for a second?
What was I talking about?
Alcohol hits your brain weirdly hard.
We're not here to tell you how to do this, but Maya and I usually have notes typed up so we can be like, right, so the third date.
No, let me tell you, this story's ingrained in my psyche.
Good.
I can't.
He doesn't
want to
write it down.
He certainly keeps teasing it out. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was like thinking, like, should I write it down? Because I listened to some of your guys' podcasts, and I was like, they.
He listened to the Unabomber.
God, yeah, I did.
He said a lot of good things about it.
It was incredible.
Everyone else needs to know we have a much higher bar for our next guest, should we have one.
If we don't, we ruined it for all of you.
Sorry, it's just me
You're
now.
going on an internationally syndicated podcast.
Okay.
And listen to
All right.
people listen to us in France.
That's true. 1%.
Tyler. Okay, so third date. Does she get to the farm to pick you up?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the beach we're gonna go to is like a 40-minute drive. So
Who is she?
what?
Who is she? How does she have money for all this gas?
What kind of gets that? That'll tie
I'm
it
also
somewhere.
guessing her family buys her the Legos, so that frees up her income
Yeah.
for other
And let
things.
me stress
We
this
just
too.
said we'll get to that.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
okay.
get to it. The periphery. It'll all come
Have
together.
you also not asked her what her job is? Do you not know what she does either?
No, so I told you earlier. She like works at like a hotel. She works.
Right,
She does
right,
mainly like
okay.
Airbnb cleaning. So she works at like a bunch of Airbnbs to clean
cool.
up. Yeah.
Cool.
That doesn't seem like she makes enough to have a West Wing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She lives with her parents.
So zero rent. She's spending it all on gas to go get Lee up in the mountains.
To pick up her next victim from their farm.
Listen, it's tough pickings out in Hawaii. She's looking for anything.
That's why she's picking up Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, so the third date. Like, what?
third
You guys
date.
get to the ocean? Like, what happens?
Well, so before we even get to the ocean, we're driving for 40 minutes. The first 2 dates, like nonstop conversation, is going really well. I get in the car, radio silence. Yeah, right. That's where I said. I was like, what? Yeah, and so it's just like completely quiet. I'm doing like, I'm just trying to like start up conversation, doing anything I can.
You're
Still
doing
like,
bits.
I'm
Yeah, I
doing
get
bits.
it.
Yeah, I'm doing jazz hands. I'm like, come on, do something for me.
Look at me over here.
Fresh off the farm, entertain me. I haven't seen another person besides Dwayne in 2 days.
Anyways, here's Wonderwall.
Listen, when Casey picked me up for our first date, he was in his old car with his old radio that would wouldn't turn on all the time because if it was any degree of cold, and when I say cold, anything below 60 degrees, it would not work. And I was like, it was just enough silence between phrases of songs where I was like,
See, Lee, that is a charming working class story because now here we are.
Yeah.
Like that. See, that's charming. But also, do you know who else was quiet when you needed them to talk? Jesus.
The second you ask the question, I'm like, this asshole is gonna say
The
Jesus.
reoccurring motif.
Yeah. And that's the thread. Exactly. You know who was falsely imprisoned?
Listen, I certainly turned to him for some answers. Anyways.
for this story anyway, because I
So
don't know what's
true.
happening.
Anyways, 40-minute drive. So quiet. Like I'm doing verbal gymnastics out here. I'm trying to be like that Polish man.
Is she giving you one word answers or
Yeah, just really short. She's not adding anything to
she's
it.
responding but
Yeah.
not having a
Yeah,
conversation?
and I'd established definitely open-ended questions where she could do
Yeah.
whatever she wanted.
Yeah.
Just
My Midwestern middle child people pleaser. A lot of alliteration there. cannot handle situations like that.
No,
I'm like, I need you to tell me
unwell.
exactly what I did wrong, and I will apologize for it, and then we need to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can't handle conflict.
Yeah.
Can't either. Cool. But I also can't handle tense situations.
Can't conflict, and I also can't handle tensity, and so I just need all the vibes to be immaculate at all times.
Yeah, the vibe is off. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
as a people pleaser myself, I'm like, what did I do wrong? Don't send me back to the farm, please. I'm like, what's going
Biggest
on?
concern is how did I upset this woman? Not that if she stopped the car right now, I'd never be found again.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. The stakes
So-
are very high
Listen,
right now.
We've been accused of this in a couple videos, and it's fair, and I appreciate them keeping us honest. But Lee, your like white guy privilege is coming through so clear in this video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Maya, if you were to get in a car with a stranger, essentially, in the
I-
middle of the woods with dead silence, how long are you in that car before you tuck and roll out?
First
of
of all,
there?
I would have never let anyone pick me up for a date.
Exactly.
I meet them
Exactly.
at the location.
Or I'm bringing Sydney and Dwayne.
Dwayne.
You're gonna love it.
Dwayne's all you need.
And you just mentioned Dwayne in the chat, and then
Yeah.
they find out when they pick you up that it's a dog.
It's
a dog.
But that way they think it's a group of you.
Yeah, and then you keep talking to him like he's a person, and so they're really confused.
Right.
And you got to out crazy them.
Right, 100%. But you were trying to please the woman who
You were
I believe
relying
is
on.
kidnapping
Yeah.
you. Continue. It's a really long laugh from Lee.
It was a very silent laugh from Lee, which is what worried me.
The silence was louder than it should have been. It speaks for itself.
Really was.
Anyways, we're driving. It's just like, yeah, super quiet, like really awkward. I'm like, what is going on? But I'm like, whatever. So we get to the beach.
I would have jumped
It
out
is
of
what
the car.
it is.
If I-
If you have not figured out at this point, my mantra for this entire trip has been like, whatever, dude.
our shower's outside. Our kitchen is also outside.
It is, in all the things you've revealed to us, maybe not the most dangerous position you have put yourself in on this trip already, but it is a concerning trend. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So we get to the beach. Again, I knew it was 40 minutes away. But I'm just more worried about the vibes. I'm like, I don't want to like this to be awkward all day, especially if we're going to take portobello mushrooms.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
that'll
going to be
ruin the
heavily
vibes.
satiated, and it's
Right.
not going to be a good time.
Yeah.
But so we get to the beach and we start walking, and we like after like 10 minutes we like find a nice spot. We sit down, we're chilling, but still it's quiet. Like I put on some music, we're hanging out. We decide to take the portobellos, which I really shouldn't have done at this point. Like here's the thing, you should not
Such
be
a
taking.
yes
Were
and
they your-
person.
Like improv, what's next? What's next? If I stop thinking, I'm gonna get sad. Let's get this going.
Were they your portobellos?
Yeah, they were my
Okay,
portobellos. Yeah.
that is at least good.
Yeah, no, they're my
Good
portobellos.
job.
The first good decision
First
you
good
have
choice.
made on the beach with a stranger with no cell phone service or
Yeah.
access to anything.
Yeah.
Kind of does balance out that decision a little bit, but okay.
Yeah.
So we take them, as you guys know, or may not know, portobellos, they take about 30 minutes to really fill you up.
Sure.
So we're hanging out. And, like, again, it's just really quiet, playing music. Now we're going to start getting into some red flags that, like, really start to arise.
Starting. Okay.
I'm sorry, this is the United Nations of red flags.
There are so many different shades and varieties of red flags in this story that you have
We've
just
got amber, we've got burgundy.
zoomed right past.
Fewer flags at a Boy Scouts camp. And I know.
You were a Boy Scout.
Eagle Scout, baby.
Put it here.
Okay, let's not make this weird.
Get Casey down here. I need to be replaced. I don't want to be here at this table.
Listen, I have an incredible relationship with my family, and crazy what you'll do to make your dad proud.
I have a picture of him at his Eagle Scout ceremony.
Yeah, she came to my Eagle Scout ceremony.
He built a bridge.
I did build a bridge.
It's actually really cute, the kind of relationship that you two toddlers have with each other.
We went to high school and college.
Yeah. We
We've
were
seen-
best friends, actually.
We were best friends and then not best friends.
Yeah. And then we were best friends again.
And
It was
now we're
actually
best
really
friends
good. It's actually
And
very
now
good
he has a
time.
mullet and I still talk to him. That's crazy.
And a septum piercing, which some people judge more than
I
others.
don't think I said judge, I think it just said mentioned.
And didn't approve of.
Made the room aware.
If you haven't seen it yet, I don't know if the camera catches it. He has a septum piercing.
Listen, no one was asking, so I'll just go ahead and share my Eagle Scout project.
That is the biggest Eagle Scout energy I have ever seen in my life.
I can see you itching. You're like, God, let me see it. Let me see it.
You built a bridge, that's really sweet. I built 2 benches and then rebuilt the directory at the cemetery my grandmother's buried at.
Interesting. Casey's not here, but he did do a clothing drive to Zambia.
Does his grandmother buried in Zambia?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay, so mine matters more. Okay. It's a contest.
I built a bridge in a suburban area at
For his
my
church. Yeah.
They already had one. I got rid of it and put a new one in.
Well, everyone knows churches and the suburbs don't have enough money to replace their own bridges.
I can't build a church over this tiny creek bed.
Oh, this bridge was designed by an engineer, but we thought it was only okay. So a 16-year-old who wanted something to sew on to a button-up shirt was like, I'll build one for you.
Yeah.
And we said yes.
And it's still there. You know who else built bridges?
Jesus.
Boom, baby!
We gotta get
got
better
it.
at the timing.
Yeah. We'll get there next time.
I can align the clips.
It took me 7 hours, but it finally all hits at the same time.
Oh, man. Where were we?
Okay, so, you just ate some portobello mushrooms
Yeah.
with a stranger on a beach you can't escape.
Yeah, acquaintance at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
You saw her Lego room, so.
I saw her like
you
room.
don't have social media, so you have literally no idea who she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true. You didn't even stalk her Venmo yet? That's ridiculous.
That's supposed to be one of my hot tips for the Patreon account.
Yeah, we have fun here.
No, I'm not sure.
What is the we? This is your first and last appearance. So I think we've now sufficiently edged the audience enough. What happens on the beach?
What happened?
What happens on the beach? So, again, we're there. It's been about 30 minutes of, again, silence. And then as I'm starting to feel satiated, it's that the walls are coming in.
Okay.
She goes, wouldn't it be cool if we got married?
You did not. Lee,
Here's
you
the
did
thing.
not.
My toxic trait is, yeah. Like,
Say
what
no.
a story.
That's what I would have done too.
Listen,
I'm so scared for you.
as a person who has also dangerously descended into the wilderness alone, if someone was like at the end of it, like, they want to do a silly little bit, yes, 100% I do.
Okay, and yes, in other circumstances I might have been down, but we have not been talking for like an hour and a half, and she's starting to like freak me out a little
My
bit.
brain's actually kind of starting to work a little bit because I'm like, if we get married and then divorced, there's probably a settlement, and like I have nothing to my name, but like she has
there's
a
no time for a
Millennium
prenup.
Falcon Lego set.
There's no prenup
I get
yet.
50% stake
I think
in
so.
Han Solo.
I don't know what the divorce laws are in Hawaii, but I think there's really only one way you find out.
Get divorced in Hawaii.
So she, out of the blue, goes, wouldn't it be crazy if we got married?
And my body immediately revolts. I'm like, I'm like,
Good. A second good decision.
number
by
2,
you.
baby. We'll get up to maybe 3 in this entire story.
I actually do think, and I now understand that like we have the hindsight of like physically, clearly you're okay. But I think
Physically, sure.
If I had heard that sentence in that moment, the relief that would go over my body. She's not gonna kill me. Okay.
And it's so wild because this entire time I was just like,
What did I do to piss her off?
I'm like, what did I do wrong? What am I the
Are
problem?
you gonna break up with me while I'm here eating portobello mushrooms?
And here's the thing, like I immediately was just like I was just like like my body was just like no like I was like what like you didn't talk for like an hour and 20
And
minutes
now-
and this is
She was working up the courage. It's actually kind of charming.
I'm so sick of you guys being on her side more than mine. It's like I'm the weird one.
Well, then tell us something
tell
weird she did.
You're saying that getting proposed to after dead silence for an hour and 20 minutes after knowing someone for 8 hours, 2 farm shifts. I don't know how they do it in Nebraska, but I expect to at least shuck some corn
Here's the thing.
before I.
Lee, you done lost your last cob there because in Nebraska, in a lot of communities, if you sleep together,
You're married.
yeah, damn right you get married. Do you know? Okay, here's the insane thing. For years, when people would use the phrase "shotgun marriage," I was like, "Oh yeah," because it's like quick to cock a shotgun.
That was
and it's
my
a quick
first thought,
wedding.
too.
And then I was like, "Oh no, under threat of violence, you will get married." And I was like, "Well, that's a lot less charming."
It's crazy because I just learned something right now.
I told you we're an educational podcast.
but don't take anything we say seriously.
Don't fall in love in the South, folks.
Okay, so Nebraska's solidly in the Midwest, but so your bride-to-be is being rejected on this beach. It's showing you a beautiful week.
I am aghast with the way you guys are handling this.
A lot of people pay a lot of money to get married in Hawaii on the beach.
100%. Are you kidding me? You could have the reception at their house.
Can we be done? I'm sorry. I was hoping to have some coping to go on here. Having a therapy session. You're okay. You're
was
safe.
she falsely imprisoned with a man who didn't love her and had a job to get back to, both at the farm and in Colorado?
Okay, Lee. Redeem yourself.
Redeem myself.
Yes,
that's what I've been trying to do this entire story.
Because what I'm currently imagining in my mind right now is Dwayne is the little ring bearer, like walking down.
Oh my God.
Right?
How am I supposed to win at all with you two?
Why did you think we were ever going to be on your
We've teamed
side?
up. We've been together now for 13 episodes if you count the re-recordings.
Before I get here, you guys are just like, let's fucking destroy this
Yeah,
kid.
that was unspoken.
Yeah,
that
we
was just
agreed that was going to
knowledge.
happen. Listen, it's usually Grant doing that to me, so I'm really excited to be
We
on
actually
this
have to
side
haul
of
in
it.
several more guests before this episode goes live and people figure out what we're doing.
You're on the beach. She proposes. You get the
First
jitters.
off, okay, she didn't. Okay.
She just said it would be cool. Wouldn't it be crazy if we got married?
Yeah.
And you said,
She's honestly right. It would be crazy.
I was like, you know what? To your point, game gotta respect game. That is pretty crazy. That is actually really crazy to do right now. And I've made it very clear, like this, like we are not going to see each other after like these 2 weeks. Like
is
it's like,
temporary,
this is
right.
very temporary.
Okay.
I've gotta work to get back to. I've got my white collar job after my blue
Honestly,
collar
I'm saying that
exploration.
this is where you chose to express a boundary, but I am glad that you did it.
Great, because this is the only boundary I express. And you'll see the issues that arise.
okay, cool.
Half of the imprisonment is my own doing, and I understand that.
Excellent.
Anyways, we're on the beach, and here's the next red flag that I learned about this person.
Okay.
We're at the beach. I explained this. She's from Honolulu,
Right.
Hawaii. She never learned how to swim.
Is she white?
No,
She's
she's
Hawaiian.
Yes.
And she...
Never learned how to swim?
She never.
When I
learns.
heard West Wing and I heard that you met... just figured she was white. So
I
she's
definitely
Hawaiian.
assumed that her family got their money in a very nefarious way in
Just
Hawaii.
like most rich people.
Well,
I
her
feel
dad
like.
was in the army.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
okay, cool.
So like a little nefarious,
Yeah.
but at least she's like Hawaiian. Why did she never learn how to swim?
Is she
Again,
afraid of the water?
This is the first time we agree. Weird, right?
Here's the thing.
Please
That
tell
is
me it's
very
weird.
strange.
That is kind of weird, but I will say this. One time I was swimming in the ocean down in San Diego, and my friends and I had drifted. It was a little bit out. We just didn't want to be able to touch the ground. We wanted to actually be like swimming. And then like this wave
That's a red
came in
flag.
a little bit. And as the wave came, like a dolphin jumped out of the wave. And then like 2 other dolphins jumped out. And they're not like close enough that we could touch them, but they're close enough that we can like
You're like,
notice that.
we're in deep water.
Right. So for a second, it's like really cool. And then it's terrifying because we're like, oh, where the dolphins swim? We need to get out of here. So I get that the ocean is scary. Everything is in the ocean, including the Titanic.
And the Titanic submarine. Well, not really anymore.
No, we got a lot of it out.
Yeah.
That's not a lie.
The reel that I sent you earlier, there's a reel I sent you. It's like, you know SpongeBob's house.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And then there's Squidward and...
No. Here's the thing. I know where this is going.
for those who don't, because this is again an audio platform.
They extended the screen so it shows Patrick, Squidward, SpongeBob, and then they added a little walkway and then added the submarine.
And now we just need to add little Mr. and Mrs. Schmetzel's pretzels right there. And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for tuning in to episode whatever.
Okay.
Okay, so she can't swim.
She
so
can't
you
swim.
So you have at least one exit strategy.
Yeah, so you run into the ocean.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy origin story dropping now.
The thing is, you guys aren't even far off because I am so bad at setting boundaries that I'm just like, oh, cool. You want to get married? Let me go swim for a little bit so I can get away from you. So I go.
You literally tried. You're on an island in the middle of the Pacific and you tried to swim away from her.
I go and just take a few laps around the bay because I needed to process. The proposal, the portobellos.
I can tell you for a fact that I would not want to be chewing portobellos in the ocean with my mind then focused on not drowning.
I'm so scared for you. I'm so scared.
I'm actually really glad that you are physically here and not like texting us up.
This story would be very different if
live.
I didn't know what was happening to you.
Okay. So do you just live there forever? What's the next step?
Did you grow gills?
If you guys don't know much about portobello mushrooms, they keep you satiated for about 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot of swimming.
So I need to figure out my end game strategy here. I'm like, how do I stay away
do I
from this
swim for
person
4 to 6 hours?
So I would go take intermittent laps and then come back, and she would want to like cuddle and like chat about our future together. Like she just like here's the thing, she wasn't like actually like planning her life, but she kept making like jokes about like being like, oh, we should like I could come out and like see you in Colorado. I'm like, I wish I never told you
Do
I
you
was
know
in
how
Colorado.
much I would love for someone to be as committed to me as this woman is to her hostage?
I am so thank you for calling me a hostage. I feel
Yeah, you're
better
definitely
now.
a hostage at this point.
I was like, oh, did we riz him up a little too much? Does he actually think we're on his side here?
You're forced to be swimming in the bay for...
Which again can't be more dangerous. Sorry, swimming in the ocean has to be way more dangerous than just looking at her and saying, I don't want to get married to you, and then being stranded on the beach. Because even if that happens, you're not treading water in the ocean where everything lives.
But here's the thing: if I tick her off, I have no way home, Grant.
What's okay.
I don't have a car to get there.
Okay, that's like the least of your concerns at this
100%.
point.
So that's so funny because that's the only thing I'm thinking about.
I would have rather gotten left there and abandoned than murdered for saying no.
She's not gonna murder me, guys. She
don't
wants to marry
know
me.
that.
I'm a catch.
I also want to point out
If
that
she can't have you, no one else can.
I also want to point out
I
too,
love that trope.
it's actually like kind of nuts because you keep swimming in the ocean, which is so much more dangerous than just sleeping on a beach in Hawaii in the middle of the summer.
See, that was the most therapeutic part of the day for me, was swimming.
Yeah, I'm sure it was the first time you were truly alone. It's also a couple podcast episodes ago, I gave the advice that you can always leave.
That's true.
And you're definitely challenging that advice right now.
Absolutely.
I want to support you. I'm sure it was tough to make a decision. I don't know if swimming in the ocean was the safest one. Were you also still hoping to see the Legos a second time? Are you like, how do I like say no but
wait, so
say
the plan-
yes?
And the plan,
Yeah.
this just to rephrase the plan. After this time, after the portobello mushrooms are through us, we're gonna go back to our house, and I was gonna spend the night.
And you're gonna do Legos and watch Survivor.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, that is a Nebraska marriage proposal. I don't know what else to say.
These are the two things you like. Let's do them.
I have let you touch the two most valuable things in my life, and we have known each other biblically. Jesus. So now we are married.
So,
Yeah, I'm just like trying to like physically put distance between her and I. So like I just like go and swim because I know she can't get me out in Poseidon's land. So
what would you have done if she could swim?
Can she rock climb? It's like just the next Colorado
Can
hobby.
she run?
Can she kayak next? Can she ice fish next Colorado hobby? Like what's
and
the one
here's
that
the
she
funny
can't
thing,
do?
because like when she said that she couldn't swim, I was trying to think of something to respond with, and I was like, at least it's not bad as not being able to bike. And then she
Oh
goes,
my God.
And then she goes, I also can't bike. And I just go, no. And here's the thing.
You don't go, I could teach you.
We can make this work.
I can teach you how to bike and swim, and you can give me your Millennium Falcon, which is not a euphemism in this story, which is nuts.
I'm just gonna say it though. If you by definition can't do 2/3 of a triathlon, that's a red flag.
That's a Colorado way of looking at it, but I respect it.
No, that's like super fair though.
Because for me, it shows a lack of drive. Like you've had your entire life to learn
love
how
how
to
we're now
swim
trying to-
and bike, and that I'm just like, brother, you can't do either.
I like that you're trying to disqualify her on the merits and not the fact that she proposed marriage on her third date. Okay, so obviously you can't swim forever.
Yeah.
So what
do you
happens?
do?
I float. Guys.
He gets it. He's on it now. He gets it.
She won't dare to come out here.
Okay, so after he done floating.
Yeah, so after, like, the portobellos have stopped weighing me
So
down
you
enough.
literally do that for 4 to 6 hours.
Dude, yeah.
Holy shit.
I bet she's like, this hot guy I'm about to marry keeps coming in from the ocean.
That's
all,
a- that's a look.
swimmed
Getting all
up. Yeah,
damped
absolutely.
up. I had him a mullet that summer, too. So I was
bet.
mulleted up.
Listen, this looks
And
really
you're
natural
doing-
for you.
So we get to the point where she's like we're like I'm like I need to get out of here. I'm like, oh cool, how you feeling? Let's head out. And she's like, my portobellos are still keeping me satiated. I'm like, mine aren't. Let me drive. Let's get out of here. So she's like, you sure? I'm like, I'm more sure about this than most things in my
I
life.
really worked all of those mushrooms that I ate
Yeah.
out of my system,
Yeah.
helped with the digestion.
Yeah,
Nice.
But we have plans to make dinner and again go back to her house and whatnot. And, okay, I will take full responsibility for this. I am too afraid to upset this person because I am just so much of a people pleaser.
We know this.
That,
We know this.
that I'm just like, let me just get through this whole night and
Let
then
me
never see her
let me
again.
just tell you of how much of a people pleaser Lee is. One time so I took him to prom for junior year.
It's actually so
My
cute.
junior year prom, very sweet. We then ended up going to the same college. He was in a fraternity, so he took me to his freshman year fraternity formal. I threw up on him. He has still never yelled at me for it. That's how much of a he was obviously irritated. He never got mad at me though.
It's so funny because I don't think Maya really remembers what
don't.
happened before or after the fugate. First off, there was no food. It was pure wine that like got thrown up on me.
I mean, a lot easier to clean up.
Yeah, and I remember saying to him like, "Oh man, I'm sorry."
Oh man. Oh gee.
I'm like, that's probably my fault.
Sounds like a good Christian boy right there.
So think about how you would act if your very drunk date threw up on you in a mountain town.
Maya, I hate to say it, but knowing just a quick sampling of our listeners, I think you're talking to a lot of our listeners right now. I think a lot of our listeners know exactly how they would act in that situation.
And you all know that you're people pleasers. Let's be honest. We're all youngest, middle, only children that had like overbearing parents. We're all people pleasers.
You are listening to us at work because you have a hard time setting boundaries, but if your AirPods are in, no one will talk to you.
And we're here for that.
And we appreciate the listen. We really do.
We're very happy to be in your ears.
So, Lee, I'm imagining you're like pulling out of this parking lot.
Yeah.
You can turn right to your work camp, or you can turn left to your future.
She has the papers ready at the house.
What choice do you make?
The notary's been waiting for the last 4 hours.
You turn right or left.
So I take her back to, first we're going to go to the supermarket and then go back to her house. Again, she's my ride. I'm currently driving, but she's still my ride, so I don't know how to get out of this. Yeah, Ubers exist. I'm an idiot. I could have left at
I
any
hope
point.
you're at least praying that like the grocery store video cameras pick up the person you're with.
I'm like,
When
okay,
they
so
need
I'm
to
like,
find
help
out what
me.
happened. Yes, exactly.
SOS.
There's like hair in the grocery store bathroom.
Yeah. So we go to, we're at the supermarket picking up, and we're like picking up like multiple steaks. Like we've picked up like 5 steaks. We've like got a bunch of food like for multiple people. I'm like, this is like a lot of food. She goes like, oh yeah, we're having dinner together with my parents.
Nope. I would have left. I would have run out of the grocery
Part
store.
of me is like, well, thank God there's 5 steaks and not 3, because I'm like, who's on the menu? You know?
Okay.
Also, going grocery shopping with someone is like a shockingly intimate
very
experience.
intimate. It is.
So she is cosplaying what she wants to have occurred, and you keep digging a deeper hole into the situation. So her parents are expecting you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you smell like the ocean.
Like Poseidon's armpit. I sure do.
Okay.
But your hair's all frizzy, you're a little sunburnt.
Yeah.
Okay, so then after you're done grocery shopping together,
Yeah, I'm like,
and use your shared account, you then
No, we got a prenup. It's
nice.
different. Yeah.
Hold hands on your way to the car.
Yeah. So we go back to her house, and
I can't believe how many times you keep saying yes to crazy.
I'm such a yes man. It is.
Yeah, we know.
It is It is bad. I've been working on it.
What if there was
well.
What if there was a pastor and or boat captain at this dinner? Because boat captains can wedge you as well.
Yeah. I feel like it has to be on their boat though.
Her dad's
Oh,
in the
is that?
Navy.
I
She
think
could
so.
he probably could have done something.
You literally could have been married at this
Okay,
dinner.
okay.
The dad wasn't there though. He was on base, so he wasn't around.
So it's just the
It
mom?
was just the mom and her brother.
And the mom's brother or your date's brother?
My date's brother.
Okay, so you go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
You get home to her home.
To her home, not mine. I don't have a
Yeah,
home.
what-
I have a farm and a
I mean,
Dwayne.
you have probably a beautiful
You have a
home in
lean-to.
Denver. You've just decided to like.
I've got a trough to eat out of.
You're at the house.
Yeah, we sure are.
You're cooking?
The brother cooks for us.
The brother
So I
cooks.
can chat with the mom.
Can I
Good.
ask, how does she introduce you to brother and mom? She goes, "Hi, this is Lee. Hi, this is my boyfriend.
This is
Lee?
hi. This is Lee.
This is
Okay.
hi. This is Lee.
This is
okay.
Lee. Yeah, she's not
Fiancéing you yet?
yet.
Yes.
Yeah. So we. I'm just like So the brother's cooking dinner. I'm chatting with her mom, and her relationship with her mom is so weird. Like they're like best friends. Like it's really weird. And like she's like chatting to me. Okay, on the second date, I gave this girl a hickey. Not my proudest moment. I'm sorry, but she's like bragging about it to me. She's like, "Wow, you did good." And I'm like, "I want to vomit."
The mom is saying that to you?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's like bringing up jokes about how I left a hickey on her child. That is ridiculous.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I have, stay with me, folks. Stay with me through the story. I have a great relationship with my parents. I feel like I say it every episode because I keep talking about my family and I want them to know it comes from love. But I found out in college that one of my friends talked to their mom every day in a phone call, text message, or email. Every day they communicated.
Yeah.
And for probably a decade now at this point, me and my mom have talked every Sunday. And my dad, like, he's on the phone too, but you know how dads are.
Yeah. They're in the background.
He listens, you know.
Yeah.
He goes, "I love you too, son," like at the end. Again,
Yeah.
very sweet.
Yeah.
But I told that to my mom in college. I was like, our friend, like, you've met her, talks to her mom every day. And my mom goes, "Oh." And I go, "Are we supposed to be doing that?" And my mom goes, "What would we talk about?"
That's the truth.
I don't really, because like, here's the thing. My mom has always been like a no-nonsense business person
Yeah.
who loves us to death, wants us to have fun, doesn't really want to know the details about it.
Yeah.
'Cause she's my mom. And that's the kind of healthy, distanced relationship you get in the Midwest.
That's the healthy level of relationship I believe most people should have with their
But
parents.
she's over here like pictures of her daughter's neck being like, "Oh, look at your handiwork.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Them chompers do that? Nice.
Let me see that. Bring out those canines.
Try not to suck on the steak too hard. I want to give that a hickey too. Save it for my daughter, right? Oh, is that a line? Maya's face is that's a line. I found a line.
Ew. I don't like steak and I don't like
I'm just trying to appeal to the 23% of male listeners. Okay, so brother cooks the dinner.
You're at dinner with your future mother-in-law,
Yes.
and she is telling you how she wishes your future father-in-law gave her more hickeys like the one that you gave your future wife.
Meanwhile, your future brother-in-law is grilling the steaks that you threw your hair on at the grocery store.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I'll tell you what, those steaks were fucking good. That guy could cook. They were really
But
good.
could he swim?
And you want to know something, Grant? They have a pool at their house. Oh. And they still can't swim. He couldn't swim either, now that you bring it up.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
It feels dangerous at that point to have two children at a house
Live
that
in a
can't swim.
sea-locked island.
With a pool.
Yeah.
At the house too.
Whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
you're at dinner. What happens? Not that I don't want this episode to go on for another 2 hours, but what happened?
We eventually dinner's winding down. I'm like, I need to not be near this mom anymore.
Fair.
Steak was great. I'm gonna.
I need to leave.
Insane that a new boss like entered the chat. You
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
that the daughter was tough to do.
Level 2. Mother-in-law. Operation. Avoid conversations about the hickey.
Operation GTFO, but like in a polite way that doesn't upset anybody.
So anyways, she's like, the mom's like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. You guys have fun. I'm like, I wish you never said that.
She's not a regular mom. She's a cool mom.
She's a cool mom.
So now it's just you, the brother, and the sister?
Brother leaves too.
Oh, okay.
So now it's just you and your future wife.
Yeah, I hate the way you keep saying it, but yeah.
Yeah,
Because
well,
she's your current fiance.
The current
Basically.
fiance. Absolutely. I miss her.
I should call her.
Do you miss her or do you miss feeling wanted? This is the section we like to call What Grant Thinks About When He Hikes Alone for a Lot of Hours.
That is tough. Sounds like I'm coming back for another podcast about that.
Okay, so what happens?
So we go back to her room. But first, we pick out our respective Lego sets to make, obviously.
Wait, for real?
Oh, God.
Okay. Wait, I kind of want to go on a date with her now.
And we're back.
Tell me that that's not fun, though, to be able to build Legos. I love doing that
Here's
shit.
the thing. Obviously, I'm not in your skin in this situation, but it sounds like this girl has communicated her needs and her feelings.
Yeah.
Fed you a great meal.
Yeah.
Introduced you to a group of people that were pretty welcoming. And now you're building Legos.
Yeah.
And it's not even the same Lego set, so it's not even like you're arguing
Right.
over a
Yes,
key of
Parallel
furniture.
play.
Yeah.
Parallel
Right,
play.
100%.
It's huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're kind of like this like committee of equals because you have all your baggage and she can't swim or ride a bike.
So you're building Legos, watching Survivor.
Sorry, that resonated with Lee a little too much.
She's just a work in progress.
Again, we are
can
back
fix
on
her.
her side.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful now.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Great. Let's hope that the final act will hopefully get you guys back on my side.
Okay.
We go back to her room, and also I make it very clear. It's like, hey, I don't want to be touched tonight, and she's very respectful of that, which is
That's
great. So
actually so cool.
let me say the things like she was very respectful of anything that I communicated, and a lot of the stories me being really bad at communicating. If you can't see,
We've keyed in on that pretty
Yeah,
hard.
we got that one. We got that
pretty
one.
blunt, isn't it?
It's a hot seat for a reason. So
Yeah, well, we go, and I'm like, cool, let's go to bed. Good night. So we go to bed. First off, she keeps the lights on when she sleeps. I'm like, please turn the lights off. I need to
Whoa.
not see.
Okay, I'm back on your side again.
Yeah, that's very strange.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just like the ceiling lights? Like, just.
Yes!
Is it so that way she doesn't accidentally walk into the pool? Like, why would you do that? It's against like human nature
And
at that point.
This is the thing, too, is like, I'm like, hey, could we turn off the light? And she looked at me like I'm the weird one. She's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, what?
I like how she's like, I mean, you're like just still kind of like a stranger in my house. I don't know why I would turn off the lights when you're around, but. So you go to sleep with the lights on.
She turns them off for
Okay.
me. Because she's very respectful of my
Yeah, of your boundaries.
She's very respectful.
She just needed you to communicate anything.
Yeah. And again, if you ever hear this, I'm so sorry. I take 90% of the blame for
We
this.
don't have a huge listener base in Hawaii. It makes you feel better.
So, we go to bed, and then my heart palpitations wake me up at 6 a.m. because I'm ready to get the fuck out of this house. I'm like,
The rooster would be crowing on the farm.
I tell you what.
And he's at the shift to get to.
But like, so I wake up at 6, and so we have plans for her to drop me off at 10.
Okay.
So I stay like any reasonable person. I stay perfectly still for 4 hours.
Here's the thing, I do hate it because I actually 100% get that. We've all been at that friend sleepover where you wake up because you only have one couch cushion as a blanket. Meanwhile, your friend is just sleeping in their bed. And so you're like, it's fine that it's 5 a.m. You know what I can do? Keep thinking about how much The Ring terrified me last night. And by last night, I mean 3.5 hours ago.
It's moments like this where I'm like, did
Yeah,
Grant
the
watch
same
me as a kid? Like, does he know my life story? Because there was a night, it wasn't The
I
Ring,
have a degree
but
in
another,
education.
I watched the fuck. What was it? It was well, I watched The Matrix, and then I have such an active imagination, as you can tell, and I just stay up all night. I'm like, they're gonna get me, and
The Matrix was your ring?
The Ring.
That's
At least
crazy
in mine,
because
a Japanese witch comes out of a television.
No,
Mine
mine
was
was computer scary, and I was like, ah! Correct.
Did you know The Matrix is an analogy for living as a trans person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know the two creators are both trans.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't super
They're twins,
advertised when
they're
it
both
first
twins.
came out, but like now that they had like and then like the pill is like hormone therapy, like that's what it is, and so that's why like I live in this like whole separate life, but like really it's this. Yeah,
That's cool.
I know, and doesn't like it makes the Matrix legitimately a lot cooler.
That does make it way cooler.
Because it's not just like some cool sci-fi thing that your dad was into. Okay, so you wake up and then sit like a mummy for 4 hours.
So that was my plan to do 4 hours, but I... after like 2 hours, she like starts waking up. So it's like about 8 a.m. So I'm like she's resting a little bit. I was like, hold your breath. And just see how long I could go without her waking up. But eventually around like...
What the fuck? Lee, what?
I was making a little game with myself.
I would have woken her up faster.
Yeah, the way I would have been like, loud cough,
I would have been
loud
like,
cough.
oh my God.
Because here's the thing.
Toss and turn.
And we'll get to this. I have a very specific appointment at 10 that I have to
Okay.
go to. It's not farm related. This is the second
Wait,
half.
does she have to drop you off in town somewhere?
Yes.
And then wait with you?
No.
And then, okay.
No, she's just dropping me off. That's a whole other story. But she...
Feels like this story, but okay.
So we, she eventually wakes up, and I'm sitting there, and she goes, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hi," and
Hello.
and she goes, like, "How did you sleep last night?" And I was like, "Oh, great."
Can't feel my arm, but that's okay.
Can only feel my heart pounding currently.
And I can hold my breath for 122 seconds.
New record.
Turns
It's
out
gonna
when
be
I'm
a good day.
Turns out when I'm terrified, don't need to breathe much anyways. So.
She's just like, "Did you have any dreams last night?" And I go, "No." And she goes, "I had a dream last night."
Yes.
And I go, "Oh." She goes,
I'm so scared.
I had a dream that you brought another girl over to my house last night, had sex with her in my bed, and then murdered me. Hey, Grant.
It's tough to be on this side now. It is tough. Yeah, go ahead, Lee.
I just we become close during this podcast.
What?
Lee, we've been at 2 parties together before this. Thought we were close before, but good. I'm glad we're friends now.
You've seen some parts of me that I don't disclose.
So what
often.
did you say?
No.
Okay.
I
Real
want to
quick.
ask something. You go first. I'm a people pleaser. You go ahead.
I was going to anyways, but thank you. She would never have gotten into the car if the situation was reversed. This is a girl who was aware of what her own personal safety means.
Yeah.
But I might be eating those words. So, Lee, what did you need to say? Go ahead.
I want to ask you, Grant.
Yeah.
What would you have said in response to that? This isn't rhetorical. I'm genuinely curious. In my shoes.
I've actually said this now on like several podcast episodes. I have a kind of a response for something like this.
Yeah.
So as a teacher, what's really wonderful is you get all sorts of people from all walks of life to walk into your classroom. And then they share stories with you because you create an environment where they feel safe and secure. And sometimes those stories are funny. A lot of times those stories are just stories. But sometimes they share a story that is the most traumatic thing you have ever heard. But they say it with like a like a joke vocal intonation.
Yep.
And so you can't let them know in that moment that they've experienced some trauma that they might need to work through. So I then say this. And if I was like kind of caught in that moment, I think I would default to it. I would say this. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing you just said.
Yeah.
I think people are going to have a lot of different reactions to what you just said. But for me, what I'm letting you know, that story is nuts. It's a really crazy thing that you just said to me. I think that's all I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe put a little period at the end of it and then wait for a response from that.
Yeah.
What did you say, Lee?
Yeah, that's what I need.
Did you promise
to know.
you would never sleep with another woman again?
No, I said, and I quote,
Oh no.
"I sure hope that doesn't happen."
That's...
That was the maybe
Criminal.
one of the worst things you could have said at that point.
I sure hope that doesn't happen.
That leaves it open for you to do that.
Did you want us to be on your side, Lee? Why would you share that detail?
I panicked.
I don't think I'm on your side anymore.
I panicked so hard. I was not prepared for this. This was not on her Hinge profile. Like,
So-
hey, I might tell you that you're gonna try to kill me in my sleep. I wasn't ready for this.
This woman who was weird because she wanted to ask you a big question.
Oh my
Asked you
God,
a big
that's it.
question. And then when you had like kind of a weird reaction to it, still introduced you to her mom and her brother when you were like, I don't want to be touched tonight, was like totally cool, totally get that. I respect that boundary. But then was maybe sensing some rejection from you. And the next morning was like, I had a crazy dream. It was a manifestation of what I'm feeling. What do you think about
So
that?
far,
And you said, I hope I don't murder you.
Her only crime was not talking to you in the car, asking you, not even asking you to marry her, saying, wouldn't it be crazy if we got married? And then telling you about her dream the next morning.
And I think, too, Lee, you would be helped out so much more if you were a local in this community.
Yeah.
But you are the strangest kind of tourist I have ever heard of.
Just trying to affirm the girl, man. I was just trying to be understanding.
You didn't affirm her,
I
though.
hope I don't murder you and then sleep with someone on top of your dead
All right, guys, listen. You know what?
Okay.
You know what? Hindsight's 2020. Okay? But when you're in the moment, when you're in the trenches like this, you just say what comes to your head.
Listen, I've told Casey that I've had a dream. I've been like, I had a dream that you were cheating on me. And he went, I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't know this woman. Sorry, she's not actually my fiance. Like
I know,
your
but you
fiancé.
could, this was before we were engaged. You could have just been like, wow, I'm so sorry my dream self did that to you. And it would have been a funny joke.
You know what, Maya? I've apologized too much already, and I will stop now. I am allowed to be confused. I am allowed to say something wrong in that situation because I was working with what I got, and it was 4 hours of sleep and a lot of adrenaline. So please.
Was that for us? Or was that
for
what you
her.
wanted to tell her a year ago? That little speech right there. Who was that?
That was for you guys.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Kind of feels like you could use it a couple times.
And this podcast is over. Super nice meeting you guys. I will never be listening to this again. Bye.
No. I do want to say.
Is that the end of
It
this?
is-
Is there another date?
No, I don't feel
Wait,
like
is
dating.
there?
Do you think there's another date?
Kind of. I mean, you are going to accept another ride from her.
Yeah, you
I
have
also-
to get home.
I mean, listen, we have a lot of fun gaslighting Lee on this episode.
Yeah.
We absolutely do. And a lot of it is deserved. But
It would be scary.
That is a crazy thing to hear. That is a, of all the things I thought you were going to say, I did not think that combination of words
Yeah.
is what was going to come. I was expecting something like, do you want to get breakfast first?
Yes.
Why would I want to get breakfast with her after all of this?
No, I'm expecting her to ask you that.
Yeah.
Oh.
The first thing that she says
Because
to you.
I was expecting her to try and keep you longer.
Correct. Like, I could make us some breakfast. We could have coffee on the veranda, which honestly sounds lovely always.
Yeah. You could teach me how to ride a bike.
Correct.
I can learn the doggy paddle. Got a pull
No,
on the back. Never
Dwayne
used
needs to
it.
teach her that.
That's really funny, actually.
Thank you.
Okay, so she's like, wouldn't it be crazy if you murdered me? You said,
I hope
I
not."
hope I don't do that.
God, we have so much more to get through.
How? Oh, Maya and I are definitely like in
I
end
thought that
credits.
was the end.
No, when I said there's a second part, there's a second part.
What could possibly happen after this?
You've also not been driving this car in a way that made us feel like there was another mile to
I
go.
know. I didn't know it was going to take this long, I'm going to be honest.
So what does
Okay, we need you to run us through what happened.
Yeah.
I am so worried for you, and I can't handle any more banter.
I'm worried for him, and he's sitting between us right
I
now.
know.
I died 7 years ago, man. You got to let me go, Grant.
God damn it, that's actually really funny. Okay, so
What happened?
yes.
So,
Grant and I are gonna shut up for the next 5 minutes.
beautiful. So we're we'll see. So eventually, like it's about 9:45. It's time for her to take me to my undisclosed location.
Appointment or whatever.
Appointment,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And we're driving in the car. It's dead silent, but I'm super stoked about it this time. I'm like, I don't want to try anymore. I'm on
I'm
fumes.
leaving.
I'm leaving. And so she drops me off at the place. But before, as we're turning into the parking lot, I'm going to. She looks at me one last time and she goes, "Are you sick of me yet?"
Oh,
I know. Which is tough to hear, honestly. Like, that is, yeah.
Ooh, that hurts.
Like, yeah, she's obviously dealing with some stuff.
Listen, I'm sorry. Maya and I did not see that coming. We would have softened that for you
because
a little bit more.
she felt that distance a little bit.
She opened up her world and you rejected it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the bad guy in this for sure.
Sorry, that's after my second gin and tonic. I don't know if that's actually how I actually feel. I'm just getting emotional.
We'll come back to it. And what did you say?
What do you say?
I said in the moment no. Because I didn't know what was I supposed to say?
Yeah, what do you say?
Yeah.
Also,
I sure hope I don't, like, what should I say that again?
I sure hope I'm not.
The lawyer in me always trying to give myself a way out. It's like, well, Your Honor, I said, I hope. She drops me off. We had a few, like, possible other plans, like, in the works, and I was like, I'll text you about it. And, like, later that day, I texted her, I'm like, hey, I don't think we're going to be, like, the best match. I was, like, lovely meeting you, but, like, I just don't think this is, like going to work out for us. Sure. And so I gave her the ring
Sydney
back.
has never left.
Oh my God, I forgot about Sydney. Oh my God, I forgot. A woman who has been in Antarctica, but in Hawaii was never more isolated.
No.
She's like, oh, my friend Lee isn't
Part
dead.
of me is like, is she worried about Lee in the way that Maya and I became worried about Lee? Lee left dishes in the outdoor tub again, and I swear to God, I'm not touching him. I'm going to leave him for when he gets back, if he's not murdered.
See,
And Dwayne's like, yeah, leave him.
100%.
it's funny because in that situation, you assumed we had dishes.
Also so true. Also so
We're
true.
eating off banana leaves.
We did actually eat off banana leaves.
That's
Wait,
correct.
did she?
No, seriously.
Lee, what in the world did you sign up for willingly?
Only sometimes. Sometimes we
You're
use
like, no, it's a
utensils.
great deal. You don't have to pay any money, but they also don't pay you anything, and then you can't go anywhere.
It's the best.
Okay. What is the second part of this story?
Yeah.
What could possibly
Right, so you text her
happen?
and you end this
Yeah, so
relationship.
this part is over.
Okay.
Okay.
My incarceration is not.
Okay.
There's so much more to get through.
How should we get back to the farm and then
Exactly.
off it again?
As I discussed, I'm currently not at the farm. Where
Right.
am I, should I ask?
In town.
Here's part 2.
Oh, so you're gonna tell us
Yeah.
where you were?
And that'll be next week.
Just
We'll figure that shit out. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's very possible that might be next week. I don't know.
Just like the World Wars, this comes in 2 parts and it gets worse. Here we go.
Okay.
It gets worse. What did you do?
Also, when he would say it gets worse, I'm like, for her, for you? 'Cause,
No.
like, you kind of broke her heart.
God damn it.
You're just stranded in town. She's driftless.
She proposed marriage.
Correct.
You said no.
I'm starting to second guess my entire life right now. Like, should I have said yes? Probably.
Okay.
I'm trying to get home, man.
Okay, so
Trying to get away from a murder.
just start.
This is his
story
alibi.
For the 8th time.
So
After you ditch the body, what happened?
okay, so here's part 2.
Okay.
So a lot of this happens like in parallel to me going on these consecutive dates with this girl.
Okay.
So as I said, we've got 4 consecutive days off. It's time for Sydney to be free. This
Yeah.
is huge for her. She finally gets to see the sun. The sun's still on the farm. It's fine.
But like another person.
Yeah, but also another person and not Dwayne.
Sydney deserves the world.
Dude,
I want you to know.
Sydney, I love Sydney. She is an incredible person. That's it. Back to the story.
Okay.
We're rarely nice to people, so good for you, Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney. I love you, Sydney.
Sydney, honestly, you have done nothing in this story, and I might die for you.
If you don't bring Dwayne, I'm a little upset with you, but I get it.
I mean, Dwayne's dead, so that would be hard.
I meant when she goes to get him. Which is
Oh,
what I
yeah,
assume
Dwayne
is
the Chihuahua
happening
Johnson.
next.
No,
Right.
no, that's not what happens.
Oh, really?
So this is
so he doesn't help you.
no. I
Respect.
do this thing for her. What happens is, so we've got 4 days off in a row, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during these 4 days, we need a rental car because we don't have
Oh.
any. We're figuring
So
it out,
you're getting
yeah.
dropped off at a rental car place.
Oh, you thought I'm at a Target parking lot. We'll get there.
He wants to get one of those electric shopping scooters.
I was thinking the exact same thing. And he's
Sydney,
gonna
get on. We're breaking out of here.
He's gonna drive up the mountain.
All right, get off. You need to walk
They
next
actually
to
have
me.
a shockingly small battery life. I know I worked at a discount grocer.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay, so you're in a Target parking
No,
lot.
we're like, okay, let's get a car for these 4 days. And so we're calling around first, like we're like calling places like Hertz and like just like the standard like
Yeah.
Enterprise, yada yada yada. But like specifically in Hawaii, it's really expensive, and you have to be 26 and it's Otherwise, it's super expensive. I'm talking like $200 a day expensive. Like,
Right.
we're not going to do this. But she was like, when she worked on the farm in Maui, she's like, we would usually just go on like Facebook Marketplace. We'll find people that way. So we go on Facebook Marketplace, and we're going through like tens of different people like putting up their cars. A lot of people just put up their cars to use on the weekends that they're not using it. Tens of people.
Okay.
Not hundreds. What do I look like?
Thank you for queuing in on that too. I was like, Maia has told me to shut up, but that was weird.
This is going to be a long episode.
Okay, continue.
Anyways.
Do you rent her car?
Her dad's car.
Crazy, another silver Taurus.
I would never be the same.
Oh, the worst part is it was a silver Taurus.
You get to a certain point in life and you just know the world.
How did you know that?
It's always a silver Taurus. So you're in this Target parking lot.
Yeah.
You're on Facebook Marketplace.
Grant, you're way
here
ahead of
there.
schedule. I'm not at the parking lot yet.
How
We're
am
back
I
at the house.
ahead of schedule? I'm what you have told me. I'm not part of this story.
We're going back in time.
We're going back. This is like as she's going on the date.
As it says, I'm going on the dates.
okay.
And so we're trying to figure out. We've gone through all these people. We're calling like a bunch of people to try to like get their car for a few days, and like it's just like dead lead after dead lead. Like we're not getting anywhere. And then we're like, okay, I guess we should look at Craigslist and see if there's anything on there. We go on Craigslist, call like another 5 places, nothing. And I finally find this number, and his name's Dylan. And I called Dylan. I'm like, hey, so you might have a few cars. Do you have them for these dates? And he goes, hey, don't have them for these dates, but I know my boy Dustin's got some cars.
Nice.
Here's the thing: if someone on Craigslist like offers up for you to talk to their boy Dustin, immediately go the other direction. This is where
That's the red flag that you turn around at.
My red flag was when you said we went to Craigslist.
No, for me, I'm like, sure, it's a small rural community where everyone kind of knows each other and they
fair.
don't want to pay the posting fees of a website that's gonna,
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't know if this is like the Midwest, like rural adjacent in me, but I'm like, yeah, so Dustin.
Okay, so you called
So
Dustin.
I get this phone number and I call Dustin and he like immediately picks up and
I don't
is
like it.
Solid
yeah,
sign.
like it's like a single
immediately different responses.
I don't like it.
Good.
I want to get called back
I hope Dylan is Dustin.
with a different hat on.
And I hope Dustin is the name of the brother. No,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You guys are not ready.
Who is
ready
Dustin?
for a single thing.
Oh my god.
Is it her dad? Tell me right now.
No, she's gone.
Okay.
It's over. This is Dustin's time. I call Dustin. Dustin immediately picks up. He's very prompt and he goes, hello. I go, hi, is this Dustin? He goes, yeah. I'm like, I'm looking to get a car for these 4 days. And he's like, oh yeah, I've got cars.
Good.
And I was like, great, because I'm looking for a car,
As
Dustin.
advertised.
Yeah, as I was like, Dustin's on his stuff.
All greens.
Yeah, and this is great because like I've gone through tens, as I've said, tens of people, and no one's gotten back to me. And he's like, "Yeah, I've got cars." I'm like, "For this date?" And he goes, "Absolutely." I'm like, "That is great. How much is it gonna like cost?" He's like, "Well, it depends on which make and model you get." He's trying to act all professional.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's running a small business.
Yeah.
You were
Much
like,
like Maia and I.
Single mom.
You know who else was running a small business?
Jesus.
Nice.
And we got it.
Good.
And we got it.
Dying at his own joke.
That's his entire platform. So Dustin has some cars.
He's got some cars. I'm like, "That is great, Dustin. You got him for these dates." And he's like, "I got him for these dates." I'm like, "Perfect. How much does it cost?" He says, "It depends on which car you get." I'm like, "Cool. Can you give me just like a rough ballpark?" And he just hangs up. I'm just like,
That is not how you run a small business.
We always respond to Instagram messages.
Like 90% of the time.
Get to it.
the way he's like, "Oh, I gotta go do something else really quick. I'll talk to you later."
Good.
So we've got like rough plans for me to like figure out this car later. I'm like, okay, we're gonna try again with Dustin. So like the next day, I call him and he doesn't pick up, but he immediately texts me. He's like, "Hey, sorry, the cell towers are kind of being weird, but like I can text you about this." And I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. And then I text him like, "Cool, do you have like information about the cars, like how much is it going to run me? And he goes, yeah, I would tell you over text, but again, I'm just telling you the cell towers are just being really weird right now. I'm like, again, you are texting me this.
Okay, that becomes my first yellow flag. Okay.
Your first?
Yeah.
Not the fact that he hung up right when Lee asked
Single
about price.
mom who works 2 jobs, who loves her kids. Yeah, that's my first time.
No, my first red flag happened a while ago.
Have you been to some of these body shops?
I have.
This is a whole tangent. I can't get into it continually.
They always tell me what it's gonna cost. It's gonna cost too much.
So far, he hasn't given away, hopefully, any credit card information.
No,
So Lee's still paying with house money. in
Lee's
this store.
fine.
Yeah.
Dustin is sketchy.
Yeah, but also has cars.
No, he's got,
So he says.
and no one else does.
Which is even more worrisome.
Yeah.
Not he has like, I have one car,
Yeah.
which would make sense for the market.
No, he's got cars.
He's got cars.
He's got cars.
And multiple available
He's
for
flooding
those
the market.
dates.
But again, we're texting him like, yeah, that's fine about the cell towers, whatever. Like, can you just give me like a price for this? And like, he just doesn't get back to me for like another 2 days. But he goes, yeah, but like I can be there to like give you the car on like the specific day. It's a Friday. And I'm like, great. Where do I go? And he goes, the Target parking lot. I'm like, God, great.
And that's where she dropped you off.
So that's where she dropped me off. So
Do you have just a bundle of cash with you as
In
well?
a paper bag?
Yes.
no, this he's a full professional. He takes Venmo.
Great.
So he's got a Venmo.
It also
account.
means that you're in a position where you get to haggle.
We'll get to that.
Okay. Sorry.
worried.
There's like a part of like something internally is coming, and I'm like, you're gonna get the deal of a lifetime, or you're gonna pretend that you can go with something else and walk around to Target.
I'm worried that Dustin is now going to kidnap him and bring him back to his date's house to get married.
Wouldn't be the weirdest thing that happened in this story.
It would be.
would be.
Everything else seemed at least kind of reasonable.
So you meet Dustin in this Target parking lot.
So before, we figure it out. Like the last time I finally figure everything out is like while I'm in the supermarket with this girl, like while we're picking up the steaks for
night
her family
before,
dinner. So the night, and I'm like, hey, are you gonna be there tomorrow? He's like, oh yeah, I'll be at the
Love
Target
a
parking lot.
confirmation text,
Yeah. And it was like for call this time, and he was like, sorry about the cell towers the other day. I'm like, I seriously.
Yellow flag lowered. Perfect.
He still
Good
hasn't
to
told
know.
Lee about the price.
No, because we're gonna haggle.
He
So-
could at least give a base that's like $200 above what he wants.
No, that's not how haggling works.
Yeah, so I'm going in blind, and this is like our last resort because like this is the day I get this is like the 4 days that we have. So
Right.
and we're not gonna find anything else.
Right.
So he's gonna meet me there at 10. I get there at 9:50, feeling different.
I've just told the woman that I hope I don't
murder her. But also, thank you for the ride this morning.
I'm trying to balance the
I
two.
don't love you, but wish you the best.
Yeah.
And also that we never talk again. So does Dustin show up?
So I'm there at 9:50, and I just text him like, hey, just let you know I'm here a little early, but I'm ready for 10 if you are. And then he immediately calls me and he goes, hey man, I'm like, hey Dustin.
Good.
And he's like, hey, I'm gonna be there. I'm running a little bit late. I'll be there around 10:10. I'm like, great, thanks for the communication. Like Dustin's like still like he's kind of like a weird dude, but like he seems like a nice guy. Like he's
I'm
never
on
been
his
weird.
side,
Yeah,
so,
I'm
yeah.
on
Really
Dustin's side.
don't
I'm like,
trust
I
him.
really like Dustin. And like
That's the difference between men and
he's
women.
my
Probably.
that's fair.
Probably.
Absolutely not.
But he's the buoy for me in this storm of confusion. I'm looking to clutch to anyone.
And Dustin is it.
And Dustin's it.
I
But,
could make another Titanic reference. I'm not called restraint. So
this is just like a funny side note. At the end of this call, he just goes, yeah, I'll be there like in like at 10:10. So why don't you just go in Target and buy yourself something nice? Which I just thought was
that's
such a
actually
silly.
so sweet.
It's just such a silly thing to say to me. He's not gonna pay for it. He's just like, you've earned it. It's like he knows I've been through something.
Go buy yourself something nice.
And I did. I went into that Target and I bought this shirt. It was during Pride. It was like the Pride after sale because we were in July.
Nice.
And it was the bisexual finger gun shirt. I don't
Oh,
know if
yeah,
you saw it.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's the bisexual flag with the finger guns on it. I was
Oh,
like,
you fool. You don't buy anything before you haggle. You don't let them know that you have a floating cap. You wait outside in the sun, and then you're like, best I can do is 115. And when they come back at you at 175, you
Yeah.
go, I'm sorry, man. I just literally do not have that.
Yeah.
I don't like if I ask my brother, I could maybe do 120, 125, but I don't think more than that. You can't be saying that while you have a new shirt in your hand.
Hey, just
Do you like my new shirt? Got it with my Amex. Anyways, can't do more than 100.
So now I'm back outside, sitting on a bench. I'm just waiting for him. 10:10 rolls around. He's not there yet. 10:15 rolls around. I'm like, okay, maybe I should like just double check because he's like saying he's gonna be there at 10:10. So I just like call him really quick, and he picks up immediately again. And I'm like, hey, just like making sure you're still on your way. And he's like, yeah, so sorry. Just got stuck in some traffic. I'm literally turning into the parking lot as we speak. And I'm like, awesome, cool. I'll see you in literally a second.
Do you ask him what car he's driving? No. Okay. Do you ask him what he looks like? So you're just like, cool, stranger in unmarked car with unknown characteristics who has my personal phone number. You'll be here soon? What do you wander around the parking lot being like, are you Dustin? That's so goddamn
Are
crazy.
you my mom?
Can you help me find Dustin, please? He's got a call for me. He told me to get a nice little present. I got myself this short.
Your name's not Dustin? Oh, well, could I rent your car anyways? Like,
got any loose cars in this parking lot?
so when the debate team is at tournaments and I have to order them food, there's always a moment where they like arrive and I'm like in the bowels of some high school. And so when they call me and they're like, hey, Domino's is here, I go, cool, I'll be out in a second. I'm a bald guy in a blue sweater. Yeah. And then they immediately know who I am. And you're just like, cool. Love you, Dad. Oh, I'm sorry.
Say it back.
How long do you stay in this goddamn parking lot for?
Before you realize Dustin ain't coming.
Guys, he's literally turning into the parking lot. It's 10:15. So I'm sitting there.
Every car that turns in, you're just staring. And
So
Are you my mom?
say,
does he know what you look like? Have you exchanged
I told him I'm sitting on the bench out front of Chuck, and he's like, great.
So he knows where you are. You don't know where he is.
Look.
He could be on the roof of the building next door.
And here, Maya and I have converged. My street smarts and Maya, gotta stay alive because I'm a woman. Like, smarts have like come back together. We're like, so you have publicly named where you are, what you look like, established you're alone, don't have a vehicle. Not a single thing you could give the police about what he looks like.
Listen,
Other
I'm
than
just
his
trying to
name
be
is
the
Dustin,
token cis white man on
he's
this
got
podcast.
cars.
Hey, Griffin, I'm about to do a hike, and it should be this long. Meanwhile, you're like, look at my finger gun shirt.
Pride, baby.
Dustin told me to buy it.
I just got proposed to yesterday, feeling good.
Does this shirt say I can't make up my mind? No, I'm kidding. Bisexuality is real. Bisexuality is totally real.
You're talking to two bisexuals right now.
No.
Hey, put it there.
But like in support.
You're an ally.
I stand with you.
I don't know what, the heterosexual halves of you two? Like, what is that supposed to mean?
Our ability to be indecisive. That's what you're supposed to.
Yeah, if you haven't learned anything from this story.
It's Lee's ability to not set his boundaries and be confused.
So the clock's still running. How long do you bake on this Target bench for, Lee?
Yeah, glad you asked, Grant. I was sitting here, and then so he said he's literally turning in at 10:15.
Right.
10:25, and I'm sitting there watching TikToks. I used to have TikTok and whatnot, and like, so I'm just watching my stuff, and he's still not there. I'm like, okay, I should really call this guy again, because he's not here. But before I can like even like pull out my phone again, out of my periphery, I see this dude. Dude in a white jumpsuit with half of it off walking towards me.
No.
And
Like in a hot way or in a scary murder way?
Like the fact that he just walked out of a hospital, or like.
the lab.
We're asking the same question.
Yeah. So he's walking, but again, it's on my periphery, so I'm like, just keep watching your TikToks. It's gonna be
I
fine.
hate for Dustin to
Realize that I've
weirded out.
clocked him. You always make eye contact.
I hate
with
to
the
make eye
potential-
contact with this business partner. Okay, so Michael Myers walks up.
So I'm just like keeping my head down, and then but this guy like comes straight up to me. And he starts a conversation like any polite gentleman in a jumpsuit that's half off his body would. He goes, "Hey!" I go, "Ah."
We're gonna have to edit that out of the podcast. We're sorry for the jump scare too, by the way. Hopefully you weren't in the middle of something.
He yells, "Hey!" at you.
So I take out my AirPods. I'm like, "Hi," and he goes, "Yo, I just got out of prison."
Good. Eager to make a deal.
The art of the deal. He's ready for it. And he goes, "Can I use your phone?" And I just
It's
go,
not Dustin.
It's not Dustin, guys.
And he's still wearing a jumpsuit.
And he's still wearing the jumpsuit. I'm like, no. Guys.
Because you're gonna say yes, but you don't want to.
For the first time in this story, I have a bit of backbone. And I say, "No, please, I'm waiting for a friend."
No, please. He's not robbing you, Lee.
I don't say it like that. I say, "No, sorry, my friend's just coming to pick me up. I don't think I have time for this." That's what I say.
And so he stands there and waits.
And he goes, no, he does. He goes, "Okay, your friend's not here yet." And I'm like, "He's coming soon." And he goes, "What, you think I'm gonna steal your phone?" I'm like, "Bro, when you say it like that, now I'm kind of thinking about it. I wasn't before. I was just confused about how you started a conversation."
I really hope this is the straight half of you talking right now.
Oh, God. The way that I would have not ended up in any of these situations.
This is actually kind of wild because you and I are really having this moment because it's usually one of us talking to the other person and the other person's, but you and I are on such different tracks. Because I'm such a burly white man with a shaved head. Like, I get fucked with so little.
I get fucked with. One time I got catcalled while I was with Casey. Explain that shit to me.
So that, like, you who would, like, never put yourself in that situation, and me who would, but just, like, inoculated with privilege, that as long as I shut the hell up for a little bit, like, I can pass as straight. Like, you and I are never being approached by anyone. Soy
For
boy
different
Lee
reasons.
over here.
Lee's getting approached by everyone because he can't say no.
Hey, can I borrow your phone? Wait,
I just got out of prison.
how crazy would it be if we got married right now? Hey, so he's like, "Well, your friend's not here yet."
So we keep going back and forth. He's like, "Let me use your phone." I'm like, "I'm afraid for my life," and we keep doing that. And then he's like, and I go, "Okay." And I go, "If I hold the phone and have it on speaker, do you want to talk on it?"
So if I involve myself even further, would that be okay?
If I physically put myself in between you and my phone, you know when you're getting robbed, you're supposed to throw the things that they're trying to steal from you farther away so that you can get away?
I also know that.
Yeah, well, instead Lee's like, "Here, let me hold it for you."
We're coming back together again. We're back on this.
Lee's like, "Let me grip it in my little hand."
He's like, "Fine, but only if I remain within striking distance."
Strike hard, strike fast.
Lee, what the hell is this story?
Also, I want to point out that, like, people who have been incarcerated are not inherently violent.
No, they're
But
not.
if you are concerned about violence,
If you're concerned
to
about your
be within
safety-
arm's reach is a crazy compromise.
No, yeah. So
Lee! Okay, so you're gripping your phone while this person that you're worried is going to be violent or steal your phone.
Well, when you say it like that, it sounds weird.
Like the first natural thought
like
you
literal
have.
general street smarts, you throw the money clip away from you and you run away.
I'm just trying to find a middle ground
How
here.
desperate are you for Dustin's car?
Dustin ain't coming, sweetie. I'm like 99% sure he's not real.
100%. You and this man are both on the call.
Someone.
So he calls, and so here's some important geography to know about the Big Island. This is important.
Educational.
So
Hey.
we're learning here. I'm in Kona, okay? There's two main areas on the Big Island. There's Kona, and an hour and a half away on the other side of the island, there's Hilo.
Okay.
Just remember that for this conversation.
Okay.
Get ready, okay? It goes a little something like this. It just starts off ringing, and it starts like any conversation should. This lady on the other side of the phone just goes, "What?"
Again, we apologize for the second jump scare of what I'm sure is the bonus episode of this.
I'm just like, if you are scared, how do you fucking think I felt,
But
guys?
actually really
You
kind
are
of...
putting yourself in this situation.
There you are, on a vacation at a work plantation.
I would've-
stranded from anyone that could protect you.
At this point, I would've
Burning the bridge of the only person on the island that cares about you.
Sydney cares about me.
Hyper,
Dwayne cares about me.
Hyper aware that like in 8 days you gotta go back to law. Like I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, kind of crazy that this woman answers a phone number that she doesn't recognize.
I would not.
I don't answer phone numbers my phone does recognize.
That shit goes to voicemail.
So she says what, and is that it?
She
Or
goes, what? And he goes, hey, yo. I forget his name. And he goes, hey, it's me. I got out of prison. Got out's very ambiguous.
yeah, I don't like the fact that he's still theoretically wearing his jumper.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds pretty hot.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong,
Imagine
but
it's kind of like, you
Yeah.
know, kind of like rolled.
yeah.
And she goes, what? In Hilo? And he goes, no, I'm in Kona. And she goes, I'm not driving my ass from Hilo to Kona to come pick you up.
Nice.
And so he goes.
Good boundaries.
That's a boundary.
That's boundaries.
We're learning.
We're back on the same page again.
Lee, that's how you say no.
I'm sure there's a bus.
So that's what he asks. He goes, what should I do? And she goes, find a bus or something.
Right.
And he goes, and I quote, how am I supposed to find a bus? I barely got this idiot to let me use his phone.
Again, I'm on everyone's
yeah,
side but yours.
I don't disagree.
Got this idiot.
As I'm holding the phone.
And you're like right next to him.
And he like directs towards me. He doesn't look at me, but he like just like kind of like gestures.
I get it.
This idiot. I'm like, yeah, you're right. 100% my fault. And I'm just at this point, I'm just like, yeah, I'm broken.
Absolutely got me there.
You know what? You got a point.
Here, potential criminal. Oh, you're gonna call me an idiot? Spit in my mouth, too.
Oh, you want my social security number?
But it's
while
not
you're
all
at it?
good.
So what happens?
So they keep just politely talking back and forth as they did. And eventually he just goes, and he just walks away as she's still on the phone. So, and he goes and like starts antagonizing some Target worker.
Sure.
So she's still yelling on the phone. I just hang up. I'm just like, I'm done with this conversation.
Because you were also a part of it.
You know what? I set a boundary there. I turned it off.
I forget that there was life before this story. I'm so in the middle of this story right now.
I'm in that parking lot right now.
Exactly. I'm like, what did I do today?
I'm watching all the cars driving in.
You and I are at the Target together. Watching Soy Boy Lee over here. Grow up? Like, I don't know what else is.
Willingly give his phone?
Okay, listen, it's a coming of age story. You make a
Greta Gerwig would absolutely star Timothy Chalamet and Saoirse Ronan in this. Saoirse Sidney, you're Timothy.
Oh my god!
Laura Dern is the woman who owns everything. Yes. It's there. I want 1% royalties. Okay, so
Okay.
you're now
alone again.
And no
with
one
your
is on your phone.
Yeah.
No one's on my phone. And
Dustin's still.
Dustin's still MIA, and I'm just sitting there, again, feeling changed. Once again, I've gone through several.
like physically exhausted, probably a little bit, right?
I'm
Like,
emotionally exhausted.
yeah.
I'm
just
physically
want a nap.
exhausted. I'm sweaty.
Yeah.
I'm sweating through my brand new bisexual shirt.
Little finger guns.
Okay, what happens?
So before I even have time to emotionally recover from that, I get a phone call.
Nice.
And it's Dustin. So I pick up, I'm like, hey, and he goes, hey, I'm here. I think I see you.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, good, thank God. You see me. And I see this guy walking towards me, and it's this like super friendly looking guy. He's waving at me, just like really kind looking. He's got glasses on. He's wearing this super greasy
Told you,
orange
good
shirt.
signs.
Yeah, super greasy orange shirt, super greasy cargo pants.
Yeah.
And he just,
Yeah.
I go up to him, and he gives me a firm, meaty handshake, and he goes, nice to meet you, Lee. I go, thanks. The feeling's mutual.
Yeah.
And it's great. And we're
I'm feeling
chatting.
so vindicated right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably at the mountaintop. I think it's about to go south again. Just knowing how this
Oh,
entire story.
I'm still skeptical.
I'm like, yeah, this is exactly who I pictured when I was trying to call Dust.
And here's the thing, I'm dealing with all these things that just happened
Yeah.
to me. But I need to get into my mindset of being able to strike a deal with this guy.
Right.
Because this isn't just my money, it's Sydney's money. We're getting this car together.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I need to get as low of a price as possible. I need to figure out if the car's even real. Like, there's a lot to figure out
Yeah,
right now,
he
guys.
walked up to you.
He walked up to me. I didn't
So
see him
true.
park. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, the car's just over here. And so we're walking together and we're just chatting and stuff. And he brings me up to a nice Ford Fusion
Nice.
that at one point was white, I'm assuming. Completely different bumper on the back now.
I'm sorry. Are you picky when it comes to your last chance cars in Kona, Hawaii?
No, it's
Sorry.
exactly what I expected.
Didn't you say it wasn't a Fusion?
No, that was the other car. That was the girl's car.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
So you come up to a car that actually sounds kind of charming considering
God, I fucking
the
hate you, Grant.
setting. Considering the setting.
Yeah.
Like if you were to drive around like in a new black SUV, that's
Yeah.
not what you want. You've had kind of like a hard scrabble, little like back end, like kind of amongst the locals. And it now makes sense that you drive a car that like kind of looks that way. I once spent an incredible 2 months in Southern California driving around a 1990 red Ford pickup, and I managed to fit 9 people in it because I was 21 working the summer program, and it was the nicest car I ever drove. AC didn't work, had 4 stations on it, but it was a red pickup in Southern California, and you could eat in and out in the trunk. Like,
Hell
that is
yeah.
what you want.
That is
Yeah.
the American dream.
I do understand why you hate me, though. Believe me, I do get it.
Grant's like, me too.
Well, I didn't even been able to read this so well.
Okay.
So we show up. I'm like, all right, game face. I need to figure out like everything I need to know
Has
about
he
this car.
proved to you that that's actually his car?
Not yet. No.
Oh, great question.
I know.
But he's just showing it to me, and as we're like trying to strike a deal, and I'm like trying to focus, out of the corner of my eye, I see another stranger walking curiously close towards us, and I'm just like, oh man. And so just to paint the scene, this guy is wearing a blue greased up shirt and cargo pants.
So first guy, orange.
And he's
Second guy,
like he's like a heavy set guy, really large, really tall. This guy like really scrawny, kind of jumping around a lot.
I love that we have like AB,
Yeah.
orange, blue.
Yeah. No, it's great. Like he's very much the foil to Dustin, and he's
It's
holding.
literally a Wario and Waluigi situation.
And he's holding a Red Bull, and he's like dancing around, like he's like coming up. He's
And you're
feeling
like,
good.
finally, my people. He'll get the finger guns.
Yeah, but he comes up and like he's getting like weirdly close now, and I'm trying to like focus on Dustin. But then out of nowhere, this guy just like completely interrupts us, and he goes, "What's up?" And he sticks his hand out and grabs my hand. He goes, "My name's Justin. You get it? Dustin and Justin."
What?
I knew I didn't trust anyone in this story.
I was like, so sorry for the third jump scare. What?
Yeah.
So my Wario and Waluigi reference was on the nose. Get it? Dustin and Justin? Which is, for the record, like, not a joke or wordplay or alliteration. It, like, barely qualifies as a rhyme.
Just like names that sound the same. What am I trying to get?
Get it? Justin and Dustin? I am... Yes, but I actually don't think I do. Okay, so what does Justin have to share with you?
So he stands there, I am jaw open, like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is, again, this entire stuff has been over the span of 16 hours. I have not had a break yet. And so I'm just at my wits' end. I'm just like, what's going on? And then without skipping a beat, Dustin just looks at me and goes, yeah, so I was thinking $200 for the 4 days. I'm like, motherfucker, do you know Justin? You have not even interacted with me yet.
Hold on. Like, in total? Because that is a good deal.
Yeah, no, great deal.
And if you take your eye off that prize...
That was the point.
Because... I'm sorry for the 100th time to bring in my education degree, but something that I love to do is I'll have like a conversation with like another student or like another teacher, and then another student will come up and just kind of like full start talking to me without me like pausing the conversation. And it's actually really good for their development for you to continue the first conversation. And then once that is satisfactorily wrapped up, been like, at no point did I hear anything you said because you did not wait for the cue that the person you were talking to was ready to engage in this conversation. And I just think Justin never had that.
It was like, it's me, Justin.
Get it?
Do you get it?
How do you navigate the situation? Because I already know I'm going to disagree with this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do too.
So there's a white Ford Fusion with what I'm assuming is a burgundy red bumper on it.
Yes.
No, it was yellow.
Damn, first thing I was wrong on the entire
Oh my
story.
God.
So Dustin says that, and I'm just like, yeah, that sounds great. And he hands me the key. And then goes, oh
no.
God. Goes,
Oh,
okay,
my.
just for like verification, I need to take a picture of your license. And I go, yeah, for sure.
that tracks.
Yeah. So he takes a picture of my license, and then
Have you used the key yet?
no, and so I go open the door, and I Venmoed him. I was like, yeah, 200 sounds great, and like I'm just so confused about the Justin and the the possible criminal that I just interacted with and the proposal. There's just so much swimming.
And the person that he called in the other city.
Yeah, there's just so much in my brain that I'm like, I forgot my own name at this point, so I just go and get in the car. And at this point, Dustin's in his car and is driving away. And I haven't even turned on this car yet. And I go and turn it on, and it makes the most calming sound you've ever heard.
Jump scare incoming.
The fucking muffler shut on the car, guys. There's no muffler.
You can drive that thing without a muffler.
And I did.
On a road trip once, we lost a muffler in Wyoming and had still 10 hours left.
So this thing is so and like obviously I didn't expect like at this point like that there's gonna be
These elitists think with $50 a day you get a car that's quiet.
no, and like I knew that like it was good, like the AC wasn't gonna work. I wasn't expecting anything to work, but fucking every light was on this car. The check engine light, the oil service light, the airbag's not gonna work light, the tire pressure light, every single light is on, and there is, and I shit you not, a 1/16 of a tank of gas left.
This man is running a business.
Yeah.
Gas can't be cheap on Hawaii.
And this is why you turn the car on before you Venmo the sketchy man named Dustin and his brother, friend,
Okay, and
Justin.
you know what, Maya? I would
Who's a
agree
plant?
with. I would agree with you, Maya, in so many situations. But you weren't in my shoes. Do not try to understand what I just went through.
I actually do think there's a certain part of me that's like, and maybe this is just, because I've said this to other people before, in a way that I think is kind of broken. I have the ability to be optimistic about situations. Part of me in that moment feels like, okay, gas, sure, kind of crappy, but like not shocked either. Just gotta go put some gas in it.
Yeah.
This man has to believe in this car because it has to be more than $200 to tow it somewhere. So it's like maybe not how I would keep my car, but other than the color, I don't know much about my car at all, you know? So it's like, it almost has a seal of approval, and it's $50 a day.
It is $50 a day.
Man, I think it might just be that I'm so sketched out by parking lots in general, because parking lots is where a lot of human trafficking happens.
Sure.
Like, because there's a lot of warnings, like if you see something in your door handle, you need to like leave
Some
and go
of that
get
is
someone.
misinformation, by the way. But
Some of it is misinformation, but
that's a
I'm
whole
also
other
not
episode.
about to get my Achilles heel slashed from under my car because someone's about to try and kidnap me,
Get
brother.
off creepypasta. That cannot be good.
That is a thing that happens. Like, human traffickers will hide under your car and cut women's Achilles heels. And then
so gross.
yes, they're
You.
human trafficking, Grant.
It feels like there's a lot to this topic that we can tee into.
There's also a new thing.
It's bad, obviously.
There's a new thing called baiting, where they'll try and freak you out intentionally in a parking lot. They'll try and trap you in so that you leave a place, and then they'll follow you, and then kidnap you wherever the fuck you go. And I'm so wary of parking lots. I always have my little pepper spray that I'm not even sure works anymore because I got it 5 years ago and I've never tested it.
And like the big bald male in me was like, I mean, you made a deal for a car in a parking lot, and I get it.
And that you shook on it.
I don't
It
know.
must be true.
Again, do not know where this accent comes from, but
It fits the big bald personality.
the way you look right now is how I assume you looked in this Ford Fusion.
When
after you
the
turned it
muffler,
on.
when you figured out the muffler wasn't on, as you're getting gas in this
Which is
car.
probably what a lot of those lights are too, by the way.
Yes.
True.
And I need you guys to remember, I live on a mountain, so I needed the same confidence. Yeah. So
She can meet you halfway. It's all downhill for her.
Did it work?
we're not done. Don't.
I
don't
know
get
we're
us
not
in trouble.
done. I know we're not
If
done.
you hit Justin, I'm walking out of the place.
Hit him.
Get it?
Get it? Justin and Dustin. No, I don't.
No. Indeed, I don't get much of what happened to me in the last 16 hours.
That was a crazy ass. Anyway, continue.
So just to give you some more insight on like what the inside of the car feels like was like, just so that like you feel like you're really there with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's leather seats, awesome. I mean, they're all like cut up and stuff. It's
Sure.
yeah. Like none of the vents are on there anymore. It's just the holes. Is that silly?
So like none of the grates are on the holes anymore.
There's no. The windows will sometimes go down, but if you put them down, it takes like 15 minutes for them to go back up.
It's like,
Yeah,
You remember that?
I do. In your car?
He did that to me in a blizzard.
I didn't know. One of our windows was fucked up, and I didn't know it didn't go back up, and we were driving back from IHOP, and it was 10 degrees outside, and it was snowing.
Blizzarding, and he rolled down his window to scream Uptown Funk at the car next to us.
That didn't need to be disclosed.
why did you let this man on this podcast we've worked so hard to build?
Because it's funny.
Outside of like one possession, this is the most valuable thing in my life. That and my job.
And we're going to cut 75% of this out, so...
Good luck.
This would be fun for you to
So what
gonna be
happens?
so
So
hard.
you're in the car.
Yeah, just some more like inside. It has a sunroof.
So are the
which is
windows
awesome.
permanently down or the windows permanently up?
They're down.
Yeah,
I'm keeping
because
these
there's
down.
no AC. Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no AC. It has a sunroof, so that bad boy's open too.
Nice.
Anyways,
Jesus Christ.
the cup holder is filled with some ambiguous liquid to the brim. It's brown.
Wait, there's liquid floating in the cup holder?
Yeah, it's filled to the brim.
Okay, I'm back on your side a little bit now. It's like $51.49, but I'm back on your side. $50 a day. Still expect it to be dry.
Yeah, surprisingly, it doesn't smell at all. Like even with the mysterious.
because the windows have
Oh,
been
it's
open.
just a little chew there.
No, I put the
probably.
windows down.
Okay.
So it was festering there for a bit. Anyways, windows down. The car's screaming at me. It's like, help, I'm in pain. Please take me to a doctor.
Please kill me.
Please go back. I'm like, same, I get you.
But we have a mountain
But
to
we have a
climb.
mountain to climb. But
There's always gonna be another battle. Make me move. We sing on this. I don't know if you know that. You wouldn't because you haven't listened to any of our episodes.
I listened to one episode.
Oh, good. Will someone roll out the red carpet? You're worse than Tyler.
So, okay, so you're in the car.
Yeah. And at this point, I just start cackling to myself because I'm like, this is the most ridiculous 16 hours of my entire life. I'm like, how did I get here? And it's all because of it's all my fault, this entire situation. But the windows are
Yeah.
down, as you guys may recall, and I'm like, all right, it's time to leave. And like I'm over like doing stuff like near the cup holder, trying to like, oh, what's that liquid? That's interesting. And I'm like, all right, let's. And I turn around and like just like to start backing up, but like I like peek out the window first, and Lord behold, it's Justin standing right there, just like in the window, like and we like we're an inch away from each other when I
So
turn.
he's sitting next to the driver's side window.
Yeah, he's just sitting there.
Wait, does Dustin leave Justin in the parking
And
lot?
here's the important thing to remember, Grant. I didn't see Dustin bring Justin in with him, and he did not leave with Justin. And during our conversation, he did not once acknowledge Justin's existence.
This fits our theme so well.
So at this point, I don't even know if this guy's real or if I'm just hallucinating.
You know it's bad when you're like, oh my god, am I in a Westworld?
When you said this is an Anderson West movie from
Wes
the beginning,
Anderson.
Wes Anderson movie at the beginning, you weren't that far off. So obviously if he's in the window, he's got something to say.
Right.
He's really
Everyone
would
wants to
hope
talk to you.
so.
You got one of them faces. Everyone wants to talk to
got
you.
those faces where they're like, let's make this guy's day interesting. Let's give him something to chat about.
Oh my god.
And so he, like, with the second we make eye contact, he just goes, man, I fucking love this car, man. You gotta have balls to drive a car like this, man.
A Ford Fusion.
With
Not
no
any
muffler.
Ford Fusion.
A broken one.
With no muffler.
No gas.
And no gas.
Or grates on the fence.
And it needs an oil change.
Justin, again, isn't wrong. He maybe has a little couple boundary issues, but again, it isn't wrong.
Speaking facts. Dude, honestly, I'm with you guys. I don't think a single person has done anything wrong in the story besides
No,
me.
not a single law has been broken other than by you. Like, not a single person hasn't authentically lived their truth every second, but you, who manages to contort themselves into a schmetzel.
I knew you were gonna fucking say it. I knew you were gonna say it.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Is there more to this story?
Please, our bodies need to rest.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, poor Grant. You've only had to listen to me for 3 hours.
Poor Grant, you had a woman propose to you.
Oh, what? Are you lovable and trusted by everyone you meet? What a burden. What a burden. I terrify the HRC people outside of Trader Joe's. Okay? Do you know how tough it is to be so gay and to also terrify other gays? Literally Beauty and the Beast situation. But I can't
You are
dance.
Beauty and the Beast.
Girl, thank you. We're never not on the same side.
No, that's fair.
Did you flip me off?
No.
Oh, you did this.
No.
Index, not middle. So crucial. Lee's still here. So what do you do with Justin?
What is happening?
Yeah, so he says that, and I go, yeah, man.
True.
And then he just about faces like a Sims and walks away. But here's the thing. I turn away for a second to compose myself because I'm about to panic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would too.
And so like I've seen him turn away. And I look back up just to register as like, is he leaving or am I gonna hit him? I don't want to hit this guy. I can't do this too.
Right.
But I look back, dude. He's nowhere to be seen. He's nowhere to be seen.
Found a bus to Kino.
This is a parking lot with a 100-yard vantage point in every direction.
That is summertime Santa. He just met him.
This is a cryptid.
So
He'll steal the muffler out your car.
And just like Sydney's just trying to find ways to entertain herself.
Sydney's like, she's developed voices for both the dog and the banana tree.
Sydney's in a worse place, but a lot less interesting of one too.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that the ghost of Dustin is gone.
the ghost of muffler passes.
The last person that car hit has evaporated back into the ether. What do you do? And I hope it was worth it.
So I drive away, and I am praying the entire way back to the car to the farm that it works, and we get to the farm. I just see Sydney. And
Sydney's also confused about what her name is at this point. She's been alone for
My
too
name's
long.
not Sydney anymore. It's Dwayne's
I
parrot.
am whatever time of day it is.
I am the alpha. I am the omega.
If you've never been in the sun long enough to kind of feel that way, you're missing it.
And so I get back and I just like, can I have a hug, man? And she hugs me and she's like, it's gonna be okay.
Aw,
and it was
that's a friend.
And Sydney is such a good person, and I was so excited. We had these next 4 days off. I'm like, this car's gonna do something. We'll figure out if it can take us anywhere.
The story continues, doesn't it?
Well, we get into the car and, again, every light's on. We go and fill it up at the Costco and we're ready, like full tank of gas. I'm like, let's see if we can get places. Again, like this, it's very remote areas across like Hawaii. Like a lot of it is just no one's there.
Right.
So if you like get stranded, there's no cell phone service. Like you're fucked until someone just drives by and is like nice enough to help you. Don't worry. No, we don't. This.
It's like, I hope it's her. You with another woman? Well. Why
don't you just strangle me now, Lee? You already made the bed. Why don't you fuck her in it?
The way I need this to be a movie so fucking bad.
Saoirse Ronan would kill the little
Yeah.
Right.
Shondaland, I can see it now.
Oh my god, yes. Okay.
And so we had 4 days full of things like we're gonna get done. Like Sydney's ready to see the world. Yeah. So she's like, new day.
So you're like, I know a great place for shrimp and for swimming.
So we drive around. We go to Hilo to go check it out.
That poor man. You drive past him.
Truthfully, if I was that man, I would opt for the foot as opposed to this car. But I'm a hiker.
Yeah.
We put probably like 1,000 miles on this car in those 4 days.
Nice.
We see everything. Like we drive up. Like it's a very mountainous island, and so like I mean the highest point on the island is 13,000 feet from sea level. It's the tallest mountain in the world, like from base to top.
Holy shit.
And we drove up to like we wanted to go to the top to like see like the sunset it's absolutely beautiful. And so the base before you go up is like 9,000 feet. We drove that car all the way up to 9,000 feet to go there.
Nice.
It got everywhere. That car freaking did it, dude. Not a single
I
hiccup.
was right about Dustin.
Not a
I have
single
no
hiccup.
idea what that ghost was, but I was right about
Did
Dustin.
you not see Justin until you got the keys?
No. Justin accosted him when he was making the deal.
Yeah. He did not exist.
Get it?
Until we were chatting. I'm sure he's a diversion. He's like, Dustin's like, all right.
All right, Justin, dude. Justin, you gotta. He probably didn't acknowledge him because he came in at the wrong time.
You know Justin is the brother that Dustin's mom makes him bring around to teach the family business.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure he's a ghost. He's a
The
cryptid.
last person that Ford Fusion killed.
Yes. And Dustin is the one that killed him.
So after all of that, you have 3
Beautiful
normal
days.
vacation days in Hawaii?
Well, yeah, that was just the first island. Then I go to Maui and farm on the dragon fruit farm for 3 weeks.
Oh, because you left that other place.
We left that
right?
other place.
Early. Yeah.
Yeah. And we went and
What was the farm? What farm was that? What kind of farm?
The first one?
Yeah.
It was just like her private farm, and so she just had like avocado trees, bananas,
just all kinds of stuff.
potatoes.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really chill. Like really, she was super nice. Like
A real blend of fruit.
Yeah,
like a
but it
real
was just like-
smoothie of fruit.
It was just not
So
somewhere that you
awful.
wanted to be. You wanted to like go back to the dragon because that's where she was before, right?
We just wanted to like hang out with other people than Dwayne.
And not be alone stranded on the mountain.
And be forced to go on hinge dates to escape.
Yeah.
Is there more to this story?
Well,
because Grant and I have entered the exit credits one more time. I can feel
For
it.
the 8th time.
For the 8th
we're
time,
like, I don't even know what a moral of this is.
Yeah. Well, I guess the last little piece, like on, because I've got other stories, but we don't need to get into those on the other islands.
You can,
We didn't invite you.
apparently you
to
can
it.
come back. Because I don't trust your moral judgment ever.
No.
I'll just give you a sneak peek. There is indeed a fire. The people did get burned, but that's on the second island. Please come to our Patreon.
Was one of your workers named Justin?
He followed them. He's like, hey man, this seemed like a great place you're at.
What's that movie from the 90s that everyone thought was good and you find out in the last 15 minutes the kid that can see dead people?
Oh.
Sixth Sense?
Also did.
Yeah,
whatever.
Sixth Sense.
Sure,
Yeah,
whatever.
By M. Night Shyamalan.
That's actually maybe
Okay.
we should direct this movie.
Is there anything else to your story?
I guess the last thing
I also
like,
want to know. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because like in honor of like the people that I met on this journey, Sydney and I dubbed the car's name Bustin. So
I
it's
love
Justin,
that.
Dustin,
Get
and
it?
Bustin. Did you get it? Justin, Dustin, and Bustin.
Do you know who else was busting? Jesus.
There it is.
That is the end of my life
No,
on
hold
the
on.
Big Islands. Yeah.
Is returning the car just
Oh yeah, I
normal
forgot
and
about
okay?
that. I forgot about that.
You just leave it in a turkey
Yes,
parking lot,
do you just like leave it ware it dies, Viking style? Like what
and
do
they
you do?
find it. They put a.
When it dies, you have to commit seppuku on.
They carry.
Buy on a Bustin.
And you then light the cup holder and the liquid inside it
And it sends a smoke signal to the owner.
through the sunroof.
Justin's an eagle in the sky floating. He's like, he finished his task. You're free, Bustin.
This actually sounds like an incredible Studio Ghibli movie. It's actually
amazing.
maybe the actual analogy you're trying to-
I'd like to see this movie done by multiple directors.
Yeah, I want to see lots of takes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to drop it off, like 4 days in, 3 days in, I call him like, hey, what should I do with the car? I've totally forgot. Sorry, I was thinking about so many other things when we were chatting. I've totally forgot.
I hate to just leave the keys in it since all the windows are open.
And he goes, oh yeah. You just put it in the gas cap, the key. And I was
Sure.
like, yeah. I was like, that's great. And I was like, just put it back in the Target parking lot. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, okay.
So literally, you just left it for him.
I do not care about this car.
He's like, why are you calling me about the Ford Fusion?
I thought I was rid of that thing.
I was really hoping you were going to steal it.
This episode has a longer runtime than the Titanic.
This is 3 hours. This is a full... Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, so that's it, right? No more shocking details?
Yeah, no.
All right.
That's that.
Maya, what are we supposed to make with this story?
I don't know.
I am, for the first time in 14 episodes, whatever.
Speechless.
Yeah.
12 that we've published.
Yes.
So our next theme that we've decided that I've briefly...
we're just fully jumping. We just want to take a second to breathe.
I don't know what else to do.
I think I need to be in the story.
All right. Do you need a moment? Let's.
You're so disappointed in me. It's the craziest thing we have ever heard, ever.
Dude, I have ADHD, depression, and anxiety. I dissociate from things like that.
Can I ask, and maybe this is the moral of the story, is there a moment when you're doing like the third or fourth choice where you're like, at this point it's kind of funny. Because there's been moments where I have found myself in that situation.
100%.
I once hitchhiked a ride with a group of a family of Mormons, which was really kind.
Yeah.
And they were moving from southern Idaho to southern Utah because southern Idaho was too liberal for them.
Oh, Lord.
But I wanted to go solo hike a slot canyon, and they were trying to find it. And there are times where you say yes to things like that when you're
just for funsies.
You're like, I'm pretty sure this is okay. And what a story. Yeah. So do you think that drove some of your decision making?
No, it definitely did. I feel like, and maybe like, it seems like you'll agree with me too, is like, I feel like at this point, like at least our generation, we're like almost trying to make movies out of our lives. Like we're seeing so much, like we're trying to be seen even more and to create something. So we kind of put ourselves in these situations.
Big main character syndrome.
When going through it, I think the thing that kept me going, like being like, you know what, I was like, you know what, I'll be fine. This will just be an hilarious story at the end. And it just kept getting weirder. And I was like, you know what, this is just more to talk about.
I think it's a combination of like, one, maybe like our privilege to move through like the society as white men,
100%.
Some of us burlier than others, and then two, something that I
sorry, what did you call me, soy boy?
Soy boy, yeah, a couple times, kind of as a slur. So sorry for that. But there's like, especially, there are a lot of moments where I'm like, I'm not trying to, but like I have a credit card that can kind of bail me out if I have to. I'm surrounded by social privilege. I am almost always like the biggest person in whatever room I'm in. Yeah. That I'm like, I have maybe more of a leash. But then, yeah, it is kind of fun to then, having acknowledged that privilege, be in situations where you're like, this is so odd. Yeah. But I've also discovered, and I think this is also a lot of what you experienced, people love solo travelers. And want to interact and want to know what your story is and what's going on, and are just kind of really fascinated by it. On all of my adventures, I have never been treated better individually than when I was individually traveling. As soon as you had a second or a third person, and then you're just kind of like a group, and you're like almost like an institution moving through, whereas until then you're just a silly little guy that you can ask anything from.
Yeah.
So I love this story. I think I would have stopped a couple decisions before yours, but I do see 100% how you got through every single one of those steps. Yeah. And I think it's the natural, for all the rizzing we gave you. I don't think in the moment you were making the wrong choices. I think you were making some bizarre ones.
Absolutely.
You want to say it with me? Bizarre. Was that a dream you had?
And that's a real, you wouldn't understand. Because
I hope that doesn't happen. Anyways, we had a couple announcements.
First of all, as a woman, I would have never gone on the date in the first place because I always meet people where they're at, and I don't want to get in anyone's car.
Smart.
And that's probably just being a woman. So if you're out there, or 75% of listeners, At least we can live through Lee in this bizarre fucking experience.
Because Lee lived.
And honestly, if I were desperate for a car, I probably would have gone through the same thing with the rental car. I would have never been proposed to on a beach while eating portobello mushrooms.
And she's cute enough. She could have.
I could have.
That's not the disqualifier.
I just would not have gotten into a car with someone. I would have been Sydney alone with the dogs and the banana trees.
You are Sydney alone with 2 dogs sometimes.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. But I love you. I respect you. That was a crazy story. I'm glad you're alive.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have announcements.
You're just going to have to sit here for this part, Lee. Sorry.
Our theme for the next 3 weeks after this is... Are you agreed with the theme?
100%,
okay.
yes.
The happiest place on earth.
Yeah.
And take that as you will. I'm very excited. I'm not even going to
I'm going to tell a story legitimately about like one of the happiest places on earth, and Maya's going to find some weird loophole that's like a really sad and scary story.
No, it's not going to be sad, actually. I'm very excited.
Okay. See, this is the fun thing when we pick our themes. When we pick our themes, we've actually already picked the story we want.
Yeah, we're just
and then we try to
find a theme.
name a theme for it. And so then the second person that always goes has to kind of start developing their story before they've heard the first one and starting to build a little bit. And I think that's what keeps this so fresh, keeps it so fun.
And a fun fact, I came up with my story and my theme from a listener suggestion. So,
nice.
Yeah. So if you have a listener suggestion, feel free to DM either Grant or myself privately, because apparently that's an option now, or on our Well I Laughed DMs, and whoever opens it first gets dibs.
So true.
And if you're not already, follow us at the Well I Laughed social media. We're Well I Laughed on everything.
TikTok, Instagram is
Facebook,
the 2 main ones, but
YouTube.
Threads, I think now. Is Threads still around 3 weeks after recording this?
It'll be great. We're on there. If it goes down, then we're not there anymore. And then if you have any other suggestions that you want to email us privately, we've gotten a lot of really cool emails from some people at wellileftpod@gmail.com. And then we also have a Patreon.
Yes, we do.
And we're going to do an Am I the Asshole right now with Lee, even though it's 10 o'clock at night. And that is Well I Left Podcast. So find us over there.
We're working on making them worth the subscription because it helps fund what we do. And this is fun, but not free. So we appreciate the support. We really do.
Yeah. And anyway,
I certainly laughed. Are you kidding? Lee is single-handedly changing my thoughts on guests. Not fully, but like,
that was fun.
I'm moving.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.